What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast, The Monday Night Wave. And we're on episode 18 of them things. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me out here. Now we're in the summertime. It's a little hotter. You know, everybody's out there chilling. Hope y'all having a great, day or a great Monday and whatnot. I go by Jay, your host, music producer, avid wrestling fan. I'm going to pass it off to my boy, the one, the only. Take it away from here.
He is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is Hero, and I am he. Welcome back to the Monday Night Wave, everybody. And I don't remember if we said this last week, but do you mind if I quote Ray J? Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to all my gay niggas. Happy Pride Month. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm an ally to every motherfucking letter. Let's go. And also Men's Mental Awareness Month. You know what I'm saying? Get your mentals right, you guys. Go to the gym, talk to your brothers. It's okay to cry, all right?
Check on your strong friends, man, for sure. check on. It's definitely okay to cry, for sure.
Now,
yeah.
Lone Skate Nakamura. Ooh, I got a question for you, bro.
What you got?
What do you want to pod about?
Well, I'm one of the sickos, so it's a great day to pod about wrestling. All right. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about, people, a lot of great graps and raps, a lot of great storylines being told this week, and we're definitely going to get into it. First things first, we got a question.
Yes, we
haven't had one in a while. And this week's question is favorite gimmick matches. And when we say gimmick, it's more so like the style of matches. So it can be like, stipulation matches.
Yeah, gimmick, stipulation, all the above, really.
It's the same thing. Whatever you're looking for, whatever you want. If you like the Braun painting match from 2003, I got questions for you. You're a little weird right now, but you know what? I understand. 2003, it makes sense. Tori Wilson was pinned up on the high school locker. I get it.
He a fan.
69 God. Yes. So without further ado, let's get into the gimmick matches. I'll do the honors and I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I got about 5. I got 5 of my favorite stipulation / gimmick matches. Number 1. This doesn't help after the fan comment, but strap matches. In particular, the strap match with Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, aka The Fiend, solid fucking match to me.
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, MJF and CM Punk also had one, and I love that one too.
I think that was a dog chain match.
It's the same concept.
It's the same concept.
The same concept. But yes, you are right. It was a dog collar match. I like those matches. I wasn't aware of them prior to 2022, 2023, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I saw it, and I was sold. Like the Bray and Daniel one, that was the one that really put me on, like, oh, yeah, this is kind of cool. So, yeah, strap matches.
Yeah, I like the concept of them. They're not done often, and for good reason, because I feel like it could get boring. But the concept of being tied to your opponent at all times, it is a cool concept. I think that's a good choice. I like that choice.
Next up is Hell in a Cell. I think Hell in a Cells are just they bring the excitement level out a little bit for me, and I think that stems just from like the Armageddon Hell in a Cell when it's like Stone or Rock, or Rikishi, Taker,
Kurt Angle,
Yeah, it was
Triple H.
I think seeing that clip on the following like Monday Night Raw where he gets pushed off, or Rikishi gets pushed off the Hell in a Cell, is like, I'm sold. This is like peak fanboy shit. Love it. So yes, Hell in a Cell matches. Also, the Usos have a great Hell in a Cell match, well, I believe with the New Day.
Yeah.
And
first tag team Hell in a Cell. Shit was amazing.
Gangster. That shit was fucking hard.
And all the women Hell in a Cell matches we've gotten have been good too.
We did get a couple women's.
Yeah, we got Charlotte's Mercedes Bailey. I think Bianca and someone was in. I think and Becky had to have been in one. I'm sure, but yeah, we got like
there is a
5
couple
or
women Hell in
something,
a Cells.
and they all been pretty far.
I want them to bring back the multi. Give me like the fatal 4-way Hell in the Cells again. Like I want to see those.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Next up on the list, I think this one should go without saying, but like tag team ladder matches, I think those are just fucking icy. Like I prefer the 2 teams in the ring, but if you want to get a little flexible and bring out 4, 5, 6 tags, I'm okay with that. But like the 1v or the 2v2 tag team ladder matches, solid. Sold me there. I'm good on that too. Royal Rumbles or Battle Royals, I think that's peak. I think that's my number 1 favorite. I think Rumbles just because of once again another childhood thing where I've seen every wrestler possible. I think you get to see everybody. Maybe not your favorite doesn't win, but you get to see them on the show. So I think that's a really great a great match. Same thing with Battle Royals. I think like AEW does the whole Casino Battle Royal thing where people come out, and I think that's really cool too. So yeah, Battle Royals, Royal Rumbles, right there.
And depending on the talent, like with like a Kofi or a Naomi, you get some cool spots of them like not being eliminated and shit. And also sometimes you do get the funny comedy spot, like when R-Truth thought it was Money in the Bank, or
that was great
when Santino Morella or whatever his thing, shit like that. So yeah, another good choice.
You do get some great moments.
The hot tag this year at the Rumble.
The hot tag, come on, bro. The hot tag was fucking crazy. We got Ricochet Logan. That moment was in Rumble too, right? Yeah. That shit was fucking crazy. One of my favorites is I think it was like either 2019, maybe it's something between 2019 and 2021. But it was the moment where Brock got his eyes on Keith Lee and was like, "This is a big." Yeah. This thing big as hell. Like, where y'all been hiding him at? Big boy over here. Yeah. So yeah, Battle Royals, Royal Rumbles, and then this last one. Nigerian drum match.
Dude. The fuck is that? Wait, is that the match that Apollo and Big E had? I don't even remember it. Okay, you were right. You got that is way. Oh my god! For someone who hated that character, that's really funny that you chose that match. That's wild. So man hated Apollo Crews' Nigerian character, but that drum match was fire, huh?
Nah, I had to bring that one up the woodwork. I hate that shit so fucking much, man.
Oh, so it's an ironic choice.
Crazy. Oh, what? 1,000%.
Oh, I thought you were being serious.
No. How about that? That whole angle, man. God damn it. But when I was looking at matches, the funny part about it, I was looking at matches, I was like, these motherfuckers did do a fucking Nigerian drum match. 2 black ass niggas in the ring doing Nigerian drum matches. What the fuck is going on here?
Fuck, I need to run that back. Because I don't remember what happened. I know Apollo won, I'm assuming. I want to say that was after their Mania match, right? But yeah.
Oh, fuck. That shit is so funny. He was like, wasn't that Big E and Apollo did?
That feels like a fever dream, bro. Like, we were just getting out of COVID and shit. Like,
fuck, bro. Yes, that is definitely the one that they did. The funny thing is, like, when you Google it, somebody was like, what's a Nigerian drum fight, bro? Like, what is
exactly.
this?
Exactly. That's how I felt about the tribal combat. Like, where's the spear? You know, so, in a Nigerian drum match, was why? Yeah, like what are you supposed to do? Like have a drum solo? Like the first nigga to the drum wins? Like, I need to run this shit back.
With the drum skin. Oh, that's funny.
You know that was Vince's idea. Okay. Surprisingly, we don't have any. Well, we have one that's semi-similar, but we don't have any repeats. All right. So, but the very first one is I'm a sucker for a special guest referee match. I don't know.
I like that.
I don't know if it's because like in the old days, like my cousin and I, or I mean even DT in the new game, every once in a while we'll play a special guest referee match, and sometimes it's fun to jump the computer or your friend might hit you with a move, but you can't hit them back because they could DQ you. It's
Right.
video game wise, it's fun. And in real life, it gave us some cool moments. Like there's that Rock moment. It doesn't matter if I count to 3, or shit like that. It gave us some cool matches. It's a stip that isn't used enough, and probably for good reason. But honestly, I don't know. I like it. I have a soft spot for it. My number 2, so it's 2 out of 3 falls matches where every fall is a different stipulation. I think it's called,
I was gonna put that down.
I think it's called 3 Stages of Hell, or it used to be called that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that shit. Like the one with Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. Even though like one of the matches was just a normal match, that part pissed me off. But overall, that match was fire. And that was a fun thing to play. Also, again, in the old video games like the old Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain and shit. For number
Stone Cold and Triple H had a great 3 Stages of Hell.
Yes,
I remember that in particular, like that whole promo just as a kid. So yes, I agree.
That's the only one. I mean, besides Adam Cole and Johnny, that's the only one I remember seeing like ever on TV. But I'm sure there had to have been more. But yeah, I can't really.
That'd be a cold rewatch,
man. Yeah, no, that should be rewatched. Number 3, I'm gonna go with TLC, which is similar to your ladder match. But
yeah,
I love the TLC. It's just chaotic as shit. The first 3 were amazing. One of my favorite ones, I always forget what year it was. I want to say it was 2016. It was either 16 or 17, but it was when, it might have been 16. It's when New Day and fucking Xavier Woods, Tom Brady's a trombone to Kalisto's back, and he falls off, and New Day retains.
Yep.
And it's one of my favorite moments. Like, it's one of my favorite things to show people to get new into wrestling. And it's like, a man throws a trombone at another man, and they fall into a table. Like, that shit is fire. I'm sorry. Like, that's why I love wrestling. The weird shit like that. Here's one of my obscure ones. Inferno match, which I haven't seen too many of them. But there's the famous one with Kane and Undertaker. It's when the ring is around the ring is set on fire. I understand why you wouldn't do that match, especially because it gets hot as fuck just wrestling, and I'm sure in normal weather conditions. But being surrounded by fire, it's a lot. But it was dope.
I feel like they played it a lot safer in the 90s when they were doing that shit compared to like doing it now. And somebody's gonna do something dumb. However, was the Bray Randy match Inferno?
I don't know.
Like, was the outside of the ring on fire?
I don't. Maybe. Fuck. Maybe it was. I don't think so.
I think it was.
Was it?
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, that.
But like, I'm because something. He was sweating mad crazy in that match.
I mean, he did get set on fire. The Fiend did.
It's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inferno matches,
they're dope.
They're dope. I think that we got to keep those in WWE because somebody on the other side is gonna do something stupid. We already know. We've been through it. We lived through it. We've seen it already. And Inferno matches in a non-regulated field of an AEW or indie circuit, well, it's gonna get fucking insane. I would rather see them in WWE where they played safe than watch somebody fucking somersault into the fucking flames. I don't need that.
Okay, so AKA, if you are friends with Darby Allin, do not let him hear this. Do not show him this pod, or at least bleep this part.
No, he can't do no Inferno matches.
And then for
Darby can do what he wants, grown ass man.
Yeah,
but yeah, go on that.
Okay, so like I said, I made 7 just in case we had repeats, so I'll go through quick. I like last man standing matches. There's something really dope to me.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's like the climax of a feud. I think I don't know. To me, it's a good ass match, and every once in a while we get something crazy like throwing a table on somebody or shit. Wasn't that when Brock Lesnar brought out that bulldozer or whatever the fuck? Just shit like that.
Like they fucking pinned this. They threw everything on this man for him to be done.
Right.
That was a great last man. That was good.
I like multi-person Iron Man matches, which is something we also don't get often. But like, so like, it happened in NXT. It was Finn, Adam Cole, I want to say Kyle O'Reilly, and maybe Karrion Kross or somebody else. And then also they, in the last couple of years, they have a thing called Iron Survivor, which is like, it's like 6 people. You're on a time limit, and obviously whoever has the most points wins the thing. And it's similar to like hockey in the sense where it's like, if you get pinned, you have to go to a penalty box for a certain amount of time, so you're out of the match for a little bit, so you can't rack up points. Now that one is,
I like that.
Yeah, no, that's fire. But I mean, just a normal, like, imagine just a fatal 4-way 30-minute Iron Man match, and just it's a race to whoever gets the most points. Like, to me, I don't know. To me, that's fire. I don't know why, but it's fire. And the NXT one that I mentioned, it was good, but the ending was really predictable. Like, Adam Cole and Finn tied. And so then they had to have another match. So it's like, why did you have this? Because it was for the vacant title. Because I want to say this is when Keith Lee got called up, so he had a vacant title or whatever, or something happened. And so it was for a vacant title, and then we had a fatal 4-way just to have another match. When it's like, you guys could have just, I don't know, the way they booked it was bad, but I'm all for that match. And then for my last choice, Firefly Funhouse match. And the reason I like it, even though we only had one, I'm basing it on the concept. Because to me, it's some anime shit or some superhero shit, to where it's like you psychologically fight somebody and you make them fight their past selves. Like, to me, that's something like Mysterio would have you do, or I don't know. To me, it's some, or Itachi from Naruto. Like, that's some genjutsu shit. Like, where it's like,
that is.
Can you, like, sure, you can. You can't. Can you beat me up? Or how can you beat me up if you can't even beat up your old selves and shit? Like, or, just some shit like that. To me, the concept of it is really cool, which is why I chose it as like my really obscure one.
Ooh, fun fact: I did not watch that match.
Oh man, you should watch it.
Yeah, I will go. The thing is, it wasn't that I didn't know about it. It was just that was Mania 2020, and that was like April 2020, and shit was just fucked.
Yeah.
So I never went back and watched it, but I will go back and watch that match because they have like I saw the figure. It's like a John Cena figure in the NWO like shirt. I see that like spread around every time they bring up that match. I definitely have to go back.
Yeah, it was super meta. Like, he had a fight where like he turned back into his old selves for a while, and then the NWO part was because like, what if you went heel? What if you did the thing that you never did or whatever? So it was like a alternate reality version of John Cena where he turned heel, so he was like an NWO, and it was like mimicking like Hogan. I don't know. It was a really dope ass concept.
It sounds like, coming from the mind of Bray, that shit was fucking tight. Like, he had free reign to go crazy and go creative with that match, especially with John. John was down for it.
Yeah. Like the story. I don't know if you saw the story, but like, he essentially, the story was like, he got a text about like the match for Mania, and they were whoever texted him was like, it's going to be a Firefly Funhouse match, and he was like, what's that? And they're like, we have no idea. And he's like, awesome, I'm down. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like that. And
it's what is that? No clue. I'm in.
All right. Yep. Pretty much.
I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, those are
those are good, man. There's a couple like matches that I definitely left out that you included. Like, Iron Man matches are great. I didn't put them on my list because we haven't seen one in a minute. I'm trying to think. When's the last Iron Man match we've seen?
The last legit one I remember seeing was Dolph and Seth versus for the IC title, which would have been like 2019. I think, it was like right before Moxley returned to the E, before he went to AEW. It was like in that weird period, like when he got injured, and they had a match. It was at a pay-per-view, but yeah, that's the last one I remember seeing, if you don't include the Iron Survivor shit. Oh wait, no, because the NXT one was after that, but that was a fatal 4-way. So
yeah, we haven't seen like an Iron Man match in a while. There's been some great matches throughout WWE history for sure, and there's been a lot of creative ups and creative downs. We got Elimination Chamber. I don't know why they didn't make the list. Elimination Chamber is a great match too.
Yeah, it's a good match. I didn't put it on my list just because I feel like we've seen everything that could possibly happen in an Elimination Chamber match now. Like, to me, like, I'm sure there is something I can't think of, but at the moment, I feel like everything that you could have done in this match has already been done. Like, we've had people climb the top, Montez and Lindsay. We've had people get speared through it.
True.
Like at this point, what else could a nigga do in that match? I feel like that'd be new. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there is, but that's one of the reasons I
Yeah.
didn't put it in, is because it's like, I don't know.
And not to be like I don't want anybody to get hurt, but once you start slamming people through like the other like pods, and like you see like the plexi glass kind of like just bend, it was like, oh, okay. Earlier ones where they're getting fucking slammed through, that's just like shattering and shit.
Oh yeah,
And
those
probably
early ones
fucking
was
hurts.
real. Yeah, like no, like those older ones were like for sure real steel, or at least real metal. Like these ones are like rubber now. Like the chains are definitely like a rubber or
Yeah.
some, spray painted. But yeah, those older ones.
And that's like not to like old head, but like growing up, like the first elimination chamber, really like, bro, it's all steel in here. You're like, fuck, this is crazy. But I'm so excited to see this go down. Yeah. Let's get into the news. Not a lot this week. We've got a couple stories here.
No, the biggest news the biggest news literally just came out like an hour and a half ago.
That's true.
So
And
we
we'll get right into it.
No, let's save it.
No. Okay, we'll save it.
I mean, as in the last news.
First things first, shout out to Asuka, and she had looked like she just got surgery.
Yeah.
Which would I would assume have been on her knee that she was talking about, that she just could not wrestle on.
Yeah.
So get well, Asuka. Can't wait for you to come back. Shit's gonna be fucking amazing because Asuka's a phenomenal fucking talent.
Yes, miss you already, Kana-chan. Rest up, play video games, hang out with the fam, and we will see you soon, my Empress.
We then have MVP, Shotzi, and Big E all went to Mexico to get stem cell treatments on their respective injuries. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read that MVP's was to maybe get one more in ring kind of like bout. Shotzi's was on her back, I believe, and because she's currently like serving her injury, I think from her ACL from her knee, so she went out to Mexico and got the stem cell treatment while she had the time to do so.
Yeah, takes her back while she's at it.
While she's already out of action. And E, I'm assuming would be on his neck. I know he had said he didn't do surgery on it. He was moving without it, which can be just something scary to do. And shout out to everybody for making those decisions. Those are not easy decisions to make, like, at all, bro. But yeah, hopefully everything works out for everybody and we can see them back doing whatever they want, whether that's in ring or being managers or fucking living life. I don't care. Just get healthy and think about longevity.
Yeah, and shout out to stem cell research. For some people it's controversial. For me, it is not. It's a crazy ass like medical advancement that's been a thing for like at least 2 decades now, and it really it's Rey Mysterio gets stem cell research or stem cell treatments, and that's one of the reasons he still can go fucking crazy, and he's like almost 50 or already 50. I don't know how old he is, but he's old as shit to be going as crazy as he's still going as a luchador, like just shit like that. So it's very helpful, and if you need it, please try to get it. I wish it was more available in the States. Obviously we don't have the best healthcare, but this is not a political podcast, but shout out to them for getting that done. It doesn't mean that Big E's going to return. It doesn't mean that MVP's going to get that final run, but at least they're trying. And even if they don't get that, then they're still going to feel better and be better. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, I, like the fan in me wants to see them in the ring,
but
absolutely. The real person in me is like, this is just for life, man. Like, go get healthy so you can live the rest of your life. Most of these people are still really young. And they still got a lot more years to live. You got things to do outside of the ring and outside of WWE or AEW or wherever you're at. Mm-hmm. So just, heal up and make the best decisions for you so you can, be there for your fam and, enjoy your life. Have a healthy lifestyle because, I seen some shit. It's funny. I saw it was a YouTube video of Sabu getting like treatment from like this chiropractor, I believe, on YouTube. And like you can just see like the pain that this man has been in. I'm like, man, like I love watching Sabu, and just to see like a legend in that kind of like shape is just insane. Granted, there could be in a whole bunch of other shit, but like as far as like body wise, like Yeah, I don't want to see nobody end up like that. Not saying it was terrible, but you can definitely see the wear and tear on that man, and that was just it was kind of hard to see.
Yeah, and that's why like sometimes I'll get on my high horse where it's like, I mean we've talked about it multiple times. Like sometimes you got to say no to some of these wrestlers because they want to just do shit to because they're entertainers. They want to entertain. Some of them are addicted to the adrenaline of the big pop. Some just want to do stupid shit. But all the above, like at the end of the day, sometimes you got to say no to these people because they can end up seriously hurt and or seriously paralyzed for the rest of their life, or addicted to painkillers and all sorts of shit. So
Yeah,
yeah, so like
you're not
when
wrong.
so like when we say like like when you made the joke about the Inferno match, like we're like they're jokes, but it's like at the end of the day, like yeah, some of these motherfuckers got to be told no, like not to talk shit, but like if you know like Braun, I don't know if he's selling, but the way Braun Strowman's been walking the last 2 weeks, I don't know if it's a hype thing or what, but it seems like his walking isn't as great. So I don't know how much longer he has, and that as a fan like kind of worries me. And like he's walking like Matt Hardy without doing the kind of matches Matt Hardy did. Not to throw Matt
Right.
Hardy under the bus, but he walks like he needs to take a shit, and that's because of how much wear and tear he put on his body. And that's why I give Darby Allin shit, where it's like, dude, you don't need to be doing all that, especially when you got hit by a bus. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The realistic part of this is just like, or realism is that we just want to see people get healthy, and wrestling is not bad. Like they say, they love saying it, but at the same time, come on, man, we trying to. You got more to live than these title reigns.
Yeah.
Um, let's get into Raw.
Wait, we still at the AEW.
Oh fuck, you're
Yeah,
right. Wait. Time out. My bad.
yeah.
My fault. Uh, AAA and CMLL will be able to work with each other at AEW Forbidden Door. That just came out, which is very big news because I believe on one of the episodes we did a while back, we're talking about how there was beef there and that they couldn't wrestle each other, and that there's a rumor that like they wouldn't want their talent while their talent is there, or whatever the case may have been. But that's all out the window, and now we get to have some amazing graps and raps from CMLL and AAA, which is going to be dope. This week's episode of like AEW had CMLO talent, and for me personally, like I just love the luchador style or Mexican style wrestling, man. Like it's been very enjoyable to watch because they are phenomenally talented. Like they're just absolutely fucking crazy. Um, this should lead to some very interesting matchups for Forbidden Door. I know when Tony got this, he was like, "Yeah, I got some shit I want to book." Hashtag for the sickos. I'm gonna keep saying that all day. This podcast is gonna be full of like sicko references.
He might as well just name the fucking episode that. I'm gonna roll my eyes, but it's cringeworthy, I guess.
People get like tweets like printed off and put on their wall. I'm gonna get that one. I booked these shows with the sickos. Oh shit. Yeah. Good to have them in at Forbidden Door. I expect the pay-per-view to be fucking amazing. We'll get some more news on that with the next couple of weeks. I think Forbidden Door is at the end of the month. And then the last major piece of news that we got. I'm gonna let you do it. You go ahead. Unravel it. Sure, baby.
Well, I wouldn't say all that, but as of 2 hours ago, Ricochet has given his notice that he intends to leave WWE when his current contract expires this summer. Ricochet is expected to be written out of WWE storylines very soon in advance of the contract expiration. And that is quoted from, it's mostly from PW Insider, who is a pretty reliable source in the wrestling community. So yeah, it seems like he wants to, try other shit. And, obviously Osprey, tweeted about it the other week and whatnot. And he's friends with Osprey, obviously. So, yeah, it seems like he wants to try something different. He's been in the E for maybe like 7 years now or so. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, shout out to him for wanting to do something different.
Because I'm real as fuck. I'm still gonna call it tampering. I see what you did. In the NBA, you get fined for that shit. Yes, I saw the Osprey tweets where he shouted out Ricochet. It's not that it's not shit that we don't already know, because everybody who watches Ricochet loves Ricochet, and we all want to see him, in bigger pictures and spotlights and whatnot. Yeah. Do I think he would do well outside of WWE? Yes, only because the other promotions in particular, like TNA, AEW, you don't really have to be that great on the mic and whatnot. You can just have phenomenal fucking wrestling skills.
And I feel like he's better on the mic now than he was before, but he also doesn't get as much mic time that he used to.
Yeah, but it's also the angles that we've seen Ricochet go through. None of them has been truly a solid push in a really long time. I think a lot of that is because of the promos that he was given early on was more of that baby face. I'm the hero and I'm going to strive to succeed because I believe it. Kind of promos, and that shit don't resonate with fans. We can all see right through that.
That
can hurt your stock, that can definitely hurt your climb when the promos are too baby face.
Yeah. And I mean, I believe he's a Triple H guy, and obviously Triple H just took over. Maybe, I mean, the full takeover was this February. So it would have taken time for Triple H to probably give Rick the push that Rick thinks he deserves or wants, and that Triple H thinks he deserves and or wants. But yeah, no fault to him for because he had a lot of stop and start pushes. One thing I'm not going to tolerate is slander during his WWE time, because yes, he had a lot of stop and starts, but he's a multi-time champion. He's had a lot of cool, crazy ass marquee matches. When Triple H did take over, that's when we got him versus Logan Paul and shit. So, but it seems like he wants to do something different, and there's a lot of people that work his style, especially in AEW / obviously Will's there. So yeah. And when I said what I said, that wasn't to throw a shot about tampering. I don't even want to talk about tampering shit anymore. It was Will.
No. Will. That was more on me. Yeah, no. That was my thoughts.
Yeah, no. I didn't think you were taking a shot at me. This is just me talking out loud. I'm talking to the audience. But yeah, no. Will tweeted about his friend. He's like, I don't think they're using his friend. They ain't using my homie right. Come over when you can. Whatever. Well, I think he'll do fine. Honestly, I have a lot of negatives to actually say, but I'm going to wait on those. I'm going to hold those because I want to be positive, because I like Ricochet. I support Ricochet. I think he will do well. I don't think he's going to do as well as what the internet says he's going to do. But only time will tell. And hell yeah, man. Go get a bag. Go get a bag.
For sure. First things first, get the fucking bag. And I do understand what you mean, because it's not like AEW's lacking players in that particular style,
Yeah, no, they got a lot of flippy niggas. You got a lot of flippy.
There's a lot of guys who can do that. But also, from the tapes I've seen of Ricochet pre-WWE, when he was the Prince Puma bag, that shit was fucking insane.
Lucha Underground.
So even if he has a fraction of that left in the tank still, which I still think he does.
Oh, he absolutely.
To be able to get out there and do that, he's going to show the fuck out, because that dude back then was fucking crazy. And he comes to WWE and he mellows it out a little bit, but in the same vein, he also becomes, IC champion.
Yeah, his stock,
United States champion.
His ring,
tag team champion.
Yeah, his in-ring work mellowed out, but his stock, his name grew, which is why him going to AEW isn't it's not he's not going to lose money on it. If anything, he's going to gain money on it. My worry is there's a lot of flippy guys there, and I feel like he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Because to me, Okada, who was Japanese Cena, Roman, is already kind of lost to me in the shuffle. But again, I'm gonna hold off all my negatives. I'm gonna let it play out. I think it'll be good. But the moment MJF cooks him on the mic, or the moment he gets into the Jericho vortex, I'm going to have a lot to say. Because that Jericho vortex is going to happen. That's for sure.
Learning tree. Oh, fuck. Ugh.
Which that's my biggest gripe of this Wednesday.
So yeah,
we'll get into
that. We'll get into that. My thing is that with Ricochet, my first thought that is if he does go to AEW, because no guarantee, but it looks like that's where he's leaning toward. Okay, we'll just
There's
go
no
with
real.
that.
There's no. You know.
Let's just go with that. I want to see. Just give me a trios match one time. They ain't got to be a team. Let me see Top Flight and Ricochet. Like, let me just see them get down real quick. I'll be down for the flippity flip niggas doing some crazy shit. Like, let me get Top Flight Ricochet versus Death Triangle, and I'm good. We're gonna put that one in the books as my matches are fulfilled, or one of my matches fulfilled. Dream matches, that is. Yeah.
Weird.
We're gonna see.
I feel it.
I think wrestling ability, he'll do well.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that's, again, it's for the sickos. Wrestling wise, he'll be fine. Promo wise, he'll be okay depending on who he goes up against. It's honestly
storyline. That's where they're gonna tank.
Yeah, that's where, like, it's the booking, because it's like, you know, like when Claudio Cesaro left, it's like, oh, he's a world champion. He's always been world champion caliber. Technically, yes, but he's doing the exact same shit in AEW that he was doing in WWE. But at the end of the day, he's having fun. He's doing it with his friends. So, you know, there's nothing to talk shit about. But, like, it's the same shit. Malachi Black, he's supposed to be a game changer. Look what he's doing. Like, Rusev, I mean, honestly, fuck Miro at this point. He's in Bulgaria, stealing money. Stealing Tony's money. Like, that's the news. We should get to the show. We don't want to go too long.
Okay.
You want to finish the thought though? You want to finish your thought on Ricochet?
Yeah, just wrap it up. Like I said, talent wise, he'll do fucking phenomenal. Booking wise, we'll see. They have been making slightly better choices and whatnot. Storylines are happening. They may be happening a little too much, and some of them are a little similar, but storylines are happening. Yeah, so if wherever he goes, get the bag, have fun, enjoy yourself. I'm down with it. I'll be there watching somewhere. Yeah, we're gonna get into Raw. Before we get into Raw, special just shout out to follow us on our socials. You know, we need them subscriber numbers up on YouTube. Like, help us out.
Please like and subscribe.
Sitting cool.
Follows.
Sitting real cool right now.
Send it to your mother because you know she loves my chocolate audible voice.
You hear that? I know you hear that jazz when he talks.
Man.
Smooth.
And the producer,
like commercial.
Jay Loner, you know, he play them saxophones real quick for me as I take these boxes off real slow.
All right, it was Monday Night Raw, people. That's crazy to say. Take these boxes off. I'm like, Monday Night Raw, everybody. Like, nah, come on.
That's what their moms texted me. Monday Night Raw time. No.
This nigga's crazy, bro, and I love it. For the sickos.
Oh man. Yeah, let's go. Let's bust through the. I was gonna say let's bust through it. Okay. All right. I am an adult. All right. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. All right. All right.
Before you can start, I would say we're going to talk about Raw, but this Raw is. I felt like it's a very Judgment Day heavy Raw. This was a lot of JD for me. This Monday,
which technically isn't nothing new.
It's not, but for some reason, the presence of it was like, damn, it's purple everywhere. I feel like I'm in Grove Street. What the hell is going on?
Ballers. Yeah. So Liv opens the show. She's talking. She's saying a promo. Dom eventually comes out. The boos are still crazy because he can't even get anything out of his mouth. Pause. But yeah, Liv is putting full court pressure on Dom. It's wild. It's not only on TV, but it's also on social media, on Instagram and stuff. It is absolutely hilarious. It is red flag behavior, but as far as story wise goes in a TV show, this is pretty great. Yeah, so Liv is putting full court pressure on him. Finn comes out to just like, hey, stop fucking with my boy. Internet saying he was cock blocking. Nah, it's your boy protecting you. It's your boy. It's your friend protecting you from making a bad decision. So I want to cut all that shit out. Finn Balor is being a good friend. He's being a good hermano. He's being a good brother. He's being a good Judgment Day member because You can't fuck around. If mommy sees that, nigga, please.
Bro, in the promo, this nigga was like, when she comes back, she's gonna kill you. She says maybe, but she's probably gonna kill you too. And it's like, damn, you crazy ass. I'm trying to get away. I ain't trying to get. She gonna kill me, man.
Yeah.
So he know, and she know.
Yeah, but Dom likes being that's how he fell in love with mommy. She beat his ass for like 3 weeks. She choked him
She
out.
did with the legs. Yeah, I remember that.
She choked him out. She pulled him out the locker room, ripped his shirt and shit. He likes that shit. But the thing is, though, let's be transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a victim in all this. He don't want to be touched.
He is.
You can see, like, even though Pat McAfee tried to do the slow mo with the grin, every nigga likes having their hair pulled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean he wants it. That doesn't mean he wants it from her. Oh shit! DT sees me at the window. He's walking over here. That's wild.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Hasn't been on since episode fucking like 4, but he can walk to a nigga's window. But hey, look. At the end of the day, Dom is a victim in all this. But yeah, Finn kicks her out, and that's pretty much the first little thing where it seems like she's going to keep pursuing Dom, and yeah, we just got to let that shit play out.
Yeah. It was a good way to open the show. I've talked about it before. I don't really like bromance love angles. I'm more interested when Rhea comes back and she's gonna start choking everybody out. But it was a good way to open up Raw. It's definitely interesting. People are invested in the story of Dom and Liv right now, or just Liv and running Judgment Day in general, because we still don't know who's she's really pulling. It looked like Dom, but it could be Finn. It could be Priest. Everybody's playing a good game right now. Yeah. Everybody's gonna get fucked up when mommy come back.
Yeah, yeah. Gonna get a monster baby face pop similar to Roman, because people are ready to cheer. They're ready to cheer mommy and they're ready to cheer Roman. And when both of them come back, it's gonna be levels above. Fucking DT's outside putting the ones up and shit. Shout out to DT. Follow him at iDeepDown. Don't tell him I told you that. Yeah, so after that, we get the first match, which is Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. Man, when you want to talk about pure violence, talking about slapping meat, talking about beating that meat, talking about beating that ass, talking about beating them cheeks. Man,
that sounds crazy. It was my arm. I'm slapping my forearm, people. It was
he felt
not slapping cheeks. It was crazy. That was crazy how that worked out.
And it's crazy because even though it's an audio medium, this nigga's eyes is closed while he was doing it. So he was thinking about something.
It's the mana, all right? The mana, people.
It's that mana, baby.
Goosebumps.
Man, yeah. I mean, like, what can we not? It was a really good match. Both men were working. There's a point in time where the ref tries to stop the match, and Sheamus is like, "Fuck no!" And he, as a pure masochist, he's like, he begs for more. Where Luke was like, "Are you fucking sure, ref? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Come on!" And like Luke was beating the shit out of him. He's like, "Come on, you little bitch! I want some more."
Yeah.
He a fan.
He a fan. And as a fan, I will say this is my match of the week. This is it. There's a couple matches throughout the show we'll talk about, but this one in particular is my match of the week because of Ludwig. This put him in a different bracket to me. Like, it was like, oh, you've had this.
Yeah.
And you were able to show this talent you've had with a certain talent in the ring. It took, you get in the ring with somebody of a Sheamus, and probably would have done the same thing in a match with like Gunther, but they're a stable and you're not going to see that. So to get him in the ring with Sheamus and so he can really get this shit off, man, blew me out the water. Like, that dude was killing it this match. Like, I'm invested.
One of the things is Ludwig has always been really like when his name used to be Marcel Batel or some shit like that in old Black and Gold NXT before he joined Imperium, and he was always really good in the ring. It was just the lack of, as the kids say today, it was just the lack of aura for the most part. Like, it was.
I can see that.
yeah, it was just kind of the lack of aura. But like he always had the physique, and his in ring abilities were always like this. But I mean, I'm talking like 2019, 2018, because I don't remember when he joined Imperium. But ever since then, obviously everything has been upgraded. Like it's one like hanging out, being Gunther's right hand man. You're going to be elevated in every shape and form. Man's winning at life, he's part of Imperium. He's dating Tiffany Stratton. Man's winning. So, but yeah, overall, no, Deadass. Like, if we're talking about just the show, straight up, great shit. Ludwig is great. Like,
Yeah.
this is them finally, or not finally, but this is them capitalizing on the small solo push, because there was I want to say it was like randomly in November or October he got his own random video package, even though all of Imperium was still together. So that was like the like random hint that like, oh, this he's going to get a solo push at some point. And yeah, no, it's paying off, and he's fucking clearly really good. Like, he's good on the mic, and
Yes.
he's good at backstage
That's
promos
what I'm saying.
and in ring promo. Like, he's
He's
good.
he got it. He got it, bro. Like he has it. Like, and the thing is right now with him is that he's full heel. Like, this is like old school 90s 2000s. Like, he is just radiating with like he needs one more major like just crush on the baby face, and then like he's out of here, like, for sure. If he had came by and like sabotaged Sami Zayn or something like that, or like Clash the Castle, like he's out of here, bro. Like, the dude is about to be white hot in any minute.
I'm trying to think, because if Ricochet's like, there's not too many like crazy big baby faces on Raw right now that I can think, or young baby faces on Raw that I can think of. Besides, like, yeah, Seth's gone. Sammy and Jay are the biggest, but you don't want Jay losing more. I mean, Jay can lose. I mean, honestly, he can lose. He's still the hottest motherfucker out right now, besides Cody.
Ooh. Let Ludwig have a match with Rey Mysterio and like slightly rip the mask, bro. That man is about to be out of here, bro. What are
Yep.
we talking about?
There we go. Yep. Or Dragon Lee,
Like,
either one of them.
yeah, Dragon. Like, you take Dragon Lee, start ripping the mask when Dragon Lee, that boy's gone.
But it seems like they're going to beef with a Judgment Day for a while. Which I mean, we're going to get into Dragon Lee in a hot second, but spoiler alert: his theme song is fire as shit. It passes the car test and the gym test.
His entrance is fire.
Yeah, no, his entrance as a whole is fire.
The whole video package was fucking clean.
Oh yeah, the video package in general was clean, and his English is a lot better too. Yeah, he's fire. No, he definitely is. I mean, him, Santos, and Andrade, or to me, are like the legit. I mean, and Dominik are legit, like the like future of fucking luchador, and that's not that's not to belittle anyone from CMLL or anything like that.
Don't talk to me about Andrade right now, man. I'm so tight. I'm so fucking tight right now. That's my nigga right. That dude is cold.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do no tangents. I'll just say they did my boy wrong. But continue.
Okay. I mean, I need clarification. We'll just save it for after the show, I guess.
It's nothing crazy. Speed title. He got the speed belt on right now. And
yeah, that means he beat Ricochet. What do you mean? Which Ricochet clarified the other week. We didn't talk about it because it wasn't necessarily super newsworthy, but he clarified because he responded to a fan like, why isn't he holding the title on TV and stuff, which is something I also asked on one of our episodes, and it's because apparently Elon or X or whatever paid a tremendous amount of money for that speed, for the speed title to be only shown during the speed program or whatever the fuck. Which is every Wednesday, which they do get a lot of views. They get like 2 million, like they get a lot of views. Granted, it is obviously social media, so we can.
Those numbers mean everything.
Yeah,
those are big numbers.
It's still big numbers. Like, they're still pulling like 2 million, 3 million, even though it's 3-minute clips or whatever the fuck. But it's doing good. But apparently that's the reason why they don't put the title on actual TV. It's because I'm gonna just say Elon. I'm assuming speculation. Elon paid a lot of money for this to be like, you only show this TV on our segment, which our segment is on our program, aka our app, yada yada. So
get the fuck out of here. I get it because it's a bag and it's business and whatnot. Like I said, anybody else can have it. Just don't put it on Andrade, bro. Like we ain't even got the a solid run yet. We ain't got no run yet,
Right. So
and we gonna
it
give
gives
him
him
the speed title.
so it gives him something to do. Like he's just now getting into a storyline where he's about to beef with Legato now. Like, but that storyline literally just started last week, and he wasn't even on this SmackDown, but Apollo was. So him and Apollo are probably gonna have a tag match, which they have a history because they had a couple good ass bangers during the pandemic before he went
Yeah, I think he had his
Nigerian.
debut match against Apollo too,
Yeah, I think
or
so.
match back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
Anyway,
no
uh,
tangent, but
yeah.
I'm upset as
It was
famous Toronto
yeah,
fan to say.
it was pure violence. Ludwig wins. It's not a definitive win. It's kind of like a roll up over a roll up almost. So it's like he
Mm-hmm.
didn't get a finisher off or anything. But hey, at the end of the day, he won. That was probably at least a 15-minute match or so, or maybe longer. It was brutal as fuck. Both dudes were red and bleeding and shit. But yeah, Ludwig wins. It was a good win. You know, Sheamus did the job, but he did a great ass job. It was good. Um, After that, we get the Dragon Lee promo that we talked about. It was a video package. He switches between English and Spanish, but it was a fire ass video package similar to Andrade's or Shinsuke's. Just like they're doing really good video packages for the characters that don't speak English consistently or as well. But the video packages still fucking hit. Like the production is on an all time high. But yeah, we get Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor, which I mean, on paper, and it was already going to be a fire match. But random side note: apparently, Finn Balor was one of the people that asked or recruited, quote unquote, recruited Dragon Lee to come over to the E when his AEW stint was done. Apparently,
Oh, okay.
which so like this is kind of like a full circle kind of thing too, where they're facing each other. It was an awesome match. Lee's really clean. Again, his music was fire as shit. It gets to the point where Carlito comes to help. And yeah, eventually Finn gets the win. And then Strowman and Ray come out because Dragon Lee's getting jumped, which later sets up some other stuff. But yeah, Finn wins. Do you have anything to say about the match? Or?
Nah, more particularly to Dragon Lee, like love talented man. He was talented while I was watching him AEW. To see him come over to WWE and do the exact same thing, the man's gonna be a fucking star. I would just like there to be a focus on not necessarily one or the other, but a identifiable role for him. So let's say right now, Ray is the leader of LWO, right? That's what his job is. I would be looking for Dragon Lee to be like that successor, into where he would have some kind of like importance or prominent role in like maybe like becoming the leader of like LWO, because he is going to be like the successor to like Ray. Um, that's just where I, like dream booking in my head. Not saying he's doing that now, not saying he's doing anything bad, but I would just like for him to have a clear, like definable, like like role.
Roll in the group. And
Yeah,
right now, I feel like is the perfect time to do that since both Cruz and Joaquin seem to be injured. So it is literally only Ray and Dragon Lee. So right now is the time to make him the quote unquote right hand man. As far as passing the lineage down and whatnot, Ray,
no,
yeah, Ray
I
already,
don't need that.
I mean, well, yeah, Ray already kind of anointed him as the next like he's just how we gave like Gable the baby Kurt or whatever. Ray
Mm-hmm.
already gave Dragon Lee the baby, your baby Ray. You're gonna be the next mass motherfucker that's killing shit.
Oh, well, damn, yeah, I definitely want to see him like. Let's get him more involved, and not necessarily not necessarily like just wrapped around like Legato like they were doing. They are doing something different with them in Judgment Day and whatnot, but it's time to get him, use a little bit more, and maybe we could see like him and Sammy go at it. I'm not saying he has to beat Sammy or nothing like that, but just put him in like those roles where he's on his way up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Because we are definitely overdue, for um, like just more talent, more younger talent to come up, more Hispanic talent. Not just Priest and Bailey, but like just more. diversity, more inclusion for sure, like a
Yeah.
bigger role.
Okay, the last part. I would say that we are in the currently with WWE. We are in the moment, or okay, lack for a better term. We are kind of in the moment to where it is time for the next gen or the next incomers to either shit or get off the pot. Like Becky's gone now, so all the other women, like, and Charlotte's currently still injured, and Asuka's now injured. So all the other like women who aren't a Bailey and a EO and a Bianca, they need to step up, and
Yeah,
similar to the men, like especially if we lose Ricochet, which it seems like we're going to do. So then Dragon Lee is for sure the next main flippy guy at this point. So it's time to step up,
absolutely.
and Roman's gone, Seth's gone, Punk is still injured. So it's time for the new gen to shit or get off the pot, which is what we've been seeing with Braun and Ilya and Mello, even though Mello's losing more than the other two, but there's story reasons for that. But yeah. So
I agree.
that was
That was a good. Yeah, that you said that exactly how I wanted to say it, just way better. But yes, it's time for the new generation to step up. Similar to like that gap between Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era, where like
Yeah.
the Brock was coming in. Like we still had Kurt, but Kurt was finding his way into like being Kurt Angle. We were definitely in that Renaissance era. It's funny. No, I didn't really mean to do that on purpose, but yes, we were definitely like that. This era of something new, something needs to be cooking up for sure.
Right, yeah, no, we are in a gap to where it's time for if you want to be that new star, you want to be a 2K cover, now it's time to start fucking working at this point.
Yep.
Which should, so anyway, we're continuing. We get a backstage promo. With Priest talking to Carlito, telling Carlito to make a match. That is what it is. But here's one of the biggest or best segments of the entire show is when we get the entire Alpha Academy and Sammy stuff. So Sammy asks Gable to come out. Chad sends the group out. He's like, I'm not coming out. He sends the group out Maxine to have Maxine read a letter. And during that letter, it's pretty much it's pretty much Chad berating the team. So it's like, Tozawa, if it wasn't for me, he'd just still be being a ninja. We got this Barbie that no one wants. She's dumb as a bell. And then you got Otis. He was too dumb to hold on to his money in the briefcase type of thing. If it wasn't for me, they'd be doing nothing. Slightly true, low key, but, still really rude to do it the way that he did it. And, essentially, it's like, Sammy's like, you guys don't gotta listen to this shit. It turns into Sammy agreeing to having a match. He's like, all right, if I'm going to finally cut the head off this fucking feud, because this feud has been going on literally since he's won, so it's been 3 months now or 2 months. So he's like, if we're finally going to dead this shit, fine, I will agree to have another match with them at Clash of the Castle. And then Chad attacks. And Chad beats up Sammy. He tries to get Maxine involved. Maxine's not fucking with it. Then he starts berating Maxine. And this is where all the soap opera shit comes in, all the storytelling. This is probably the biggest segment in the entire show. Gable's berating Maxine. It looks abusive. It looks manipulative. And then Tozawa kind of steps up and he's like, just calm down a little bit. And then fucking Gable starts pushing on Tozawa. He's like, what you gonna do, man? Like, you're smaller than me. What are you gonna do? Like, I'm the coach here. And then I think he gets back in Maxine's face, which is when Otis steps up. And then this is when it's like, this is when you get into the perfect manipulation with the smaller hero, the smaller heel with his bigger tank. And it's like, yo, hey, big guy, like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, you're my friend. Like, we're buddies. Blah blah blah. Like,
yeah,
we're good.
You don't want to hurt me.
But I mean, you're still being stupid. But I'm the good. Like, I'm here to teach you. Blah blah blah. Then he kicks Tozawa and Maxine out. Sammy comes back to attack which ends up hurting Maxine and Tozawa, which makes Otis mad. So now he's like in his Hunchback Notre Dame Incredible Hulk type vibe, where it's like, you hurt pretty girl, bro. Like you call me stupid. You hurt pretty girl, and and this is again, Gable is in his he's in his Drake mode. You're a master manipulator. Where he's like, Sammy did it, and then Otis finally attacks Sammy. So yeah, that was pretty much it. But it was. And that was a huge Spark Notes paraphrase, but it was super dramatic. It was easily the best. I want to say, to me, it's the best segment of Raw. Like, when you think about wrestling and you think about the soap opera parts of wrestling, this was that soap opera part, to where you're getting character development, you're getting drama. Like, the two moments where Otis seems like he was stepping up, that pop, it was the pop was almost damn near Stone Cold levels. And we're talking, they were in Kentucky, I think, Louisville, like, and he was almost getting Stone Cold pops. Like, when he finally does go to the good side and goes against Gable, like, that pop is going to be fucking crazy. And
it is going to be nuts. Yeah. That's a tough question. Do you think that pop should happen at a PLE or in the States?
Well, okay, so assuming Gable wins at Clash, which I think he will, I think it eventually sets up for maybe Gable and Otis at SummerSlam, which means that pop would have to happen maybe on a random Raw, maybe like in a main event. Maybe Gable has a main event match, like against a Jay or something, or I don't know. But I mean, honestly, it really depends. It could happen on a pay-per-view or it could happen on a Raw, like, because that's how good the storyline is, and I feel like that's how good the fans are invested, or how much the fans are invested. It really depends on where they're at city-wise and how long they want to hold on to it. Because to me, like, you can keep on building on this story. Like, it took a while for Sammy to break out the bloodline. Like, they can keep on, they can build on this for until August if they want to, or until September. They can keep building on this. So I know they don't need to rush it, but obviously the seeds have been planted for a minute, and he keeps belittling Otis, and people are like, the fans are ready to get behind Otis at this point, and they're ready to get behind Tozawa and Maxine because they're being abused and they're being fucking treated like shit, and it's easy to relate to. And they're all selling really good too. Like, all their facial selling, like, it's really good. Like, Tozawa looks sad, Maxine looks sad, where it's like, man, like, as an empath, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I know you guys are acting, but it's one of those moments where you get like secondhand embarrassment, where it's like, I kind of feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. I want to cry for you.
Yeah. And this is a very important, like, segment of the show. Like, they've been, like I said, building the storyline for months now, since Mania. So it's definitely very important for us to get some kind of resolution to this. It is a little interesting because, as we reported like last week, like, his contract is literally coming up. If it's not up now, it's definitely up pretty fucking soon.
It was either supposed to be last Friday or this Friday.
Yeah, like,
and that match is next Saturday, so I feel like he signed. But
I don't know. The shit's been weird. Like, we can't really predict anything with WWE right now because, like, this is the first for us at least. But yeah, it could be through, Clash at the Castle where he finishes up his last two shows. I don't fucking know. But regardless, fans deserve some kind of resolution on this. And hopefully we can get that. Hopefully Sammy does stay with WWE and we can see him, like, really get into his bag and him get that IC title and him actually be pushed towards, like, the main title. Because I definitely think Sammy has potential to be a World Heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Or world champion. We got to wait and see. I think he resigns as well. I don't think he's going anywhere. Sammy's a phenomenal talent. But yeah, man, like, as far as this angle in general, I like how we're in a world where refs can be, like, aware of certain, like, cheating habits, but then we also turn Otis into, like, a mice and men Lenny, where, like, he's just like, I don't know anything. Shout out to my literature heads out there.
Hey,
Um,
I was an English major.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, man, it's like I get it, the whole brute you hurt blonde, but it's like, oh, he's a smart guy. We ain't got to do this angle. It's just interesting. That's the only part of the angle I did not like, is to just make him look like the guy we got to take to the back of the shed.
In order to, well, I mean, he is the ladies' man. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for him, Maxine wouldn't even be part of Alpha Academy. So
this is true. Oh, this dude like him some blondes too. That man got a track record. I see it. I know your type. I mean,
he has phenomenal Riz. He has W Riz. Him and Damien. Or not Damian. Dominik. Jesus Christ. They don't know. They don't know why the ladies like him. They just like him. It's the Riz is impeccable.
Fuck. It is impeccable. Impeccable Riz.
All right.
We get a Bron Breaker promo. Breaker says he'll teach Pierce and Ricochet about respect because he wasn't put in the King of the Ring tournament and no one can hold him back.
Mm-hmm.
This leads into like a Braun versus Ricochet match. And yeah, strap the rock on this man. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out.
Man.
Like, whatever plans y'all had, I think we saw like some shit during the week this week that like they're scrapping current plans and creating new ones. Yeah, do that. Because Bron Breakker needs to be out of here. Like, that dude is so fucking talented, man. It's fucking crazy.
Fire match, the biggest spot. I mean, the only spot to really write down, because it was a really fire match. Ricochet did his shit.
Cool.
He's selling the ribs. Is like, but there was a part where, man, Bron Breakker hits a Frankensteiner.
Fucking Frankensteiner.
Yeah. Ricochet is on. Yeah, he's on the top rope. Braun like runs to it, hits and before he hits the Frankensteiner, he does a quick ass taunt, a millisecond taunt. Hits the Frankensteiner, takes the straps off, so you know that shit is motherfucking real, and then hits Ricochet with the spear. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker wins. It's a clean win, but if we're doing wrestling breakdown, wrestling power rankings, technically Ricochet is not at full percent because he has taped ribs, but he still lost.
True.
Braun wins. He goes for the kill. He tries to do the same thing he did to kill Dixon, and that's when Ilya comes out for the save. I'm hoping before Ricochet leaves, we do get that triple threat. But if it's just Braun and Ilya, I'm down with that too. But it should honestly, dead ass, it should be the triple threat. I want the triple threat
at Clash.
I feel like we're already at 5 matches. So it might not be at Clash. It could honestly, it's good enough to be a Raw main event. Personally,
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, if it's not gonna be a Clash, give me a main event on Raw for sure.
I don't know the timetable of when Ricochet's contract is supposed to end. It just said the summer.
It's like summer, so I mean,
we're in summer now.
I would assume. True. July?
Okay.
At the latest, August. Like, I would say you have him probably until Money in the Bank.
Okay, then I'd do that Money in the Bank, or if you don't put him in Money in the Bank, then I would do that at Money in the Bank, or do that at a Raw, a random Raw, because I mean obviously they're still like selling out for the most part at all shows. To me, again, that could be a main event, personally, but especially if you don't have Punk or Drew or Gunther doing anything. Or Jay, which it seems like Jay's like kind of just chilling until July. I don't know, we don't know if he'll get a feud. He might, but it seems like he's chilling. So yeah, especially if Ricochet's leaving, this a Raw main event would be a fine goodbye, assuming it happens that way.
It would be,
and that way you can still write him off too.
As far as like strapping the rocket on him, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about like the ideas or the rumors that they're like, hey, we're gonna scrap these plans? Like, what do you think?
I'm taking it with a grain of salt because also I don't know what that means. Like if they like it to me, it's hard to figure out like, oh yeah, we already had plans for this person that we're super pushing, and based on the reaction, we're gonna scrap these plans and push them even harder. To me, it's one of those, it's a math problem that I can't figure out because I don't know the numbers to it. If that makes sense. I'm fine with it. I mean, he's a heel right now, but I feel like you could easily still make him an anti-hero after this particular feud. He's good on the mic. He's obviously great in the ring. I'm fine with it. It's one of those things. I'm gonna just play it day to day and see what happens. But I don't like. How about this? Like, I'm not going to put a title on him yet because, like, you know, LA Knight's been over since before Mania in LA, and he still has yet to have a title. I think he's going to finally get his title at SummerSlam. So I'm not going to put a title on him, but I'm definitely going to keep him in key ass shit, like similar to how Bronson Reed was in like Elimination Chamber, not this last one, but the year before, and all, like he was in all these big spots or all these big marquee matches. I'm going to put Braun in there. You just got at this point, you just got to try to figure out a way to make Braun lose without making him look weak, but still keeping him in big shit and keeping him relevant.
I think I do agree with like not putting a title on him. Where I deviate a little bit is that I would definitely put him in like main event pictures. Currently, right now, like the Raw like feud for their world champion for Priest is kind of like light. We don't really know what we want to do just yet. There's still a story to be told with Priest and Punk, not Priest and Punk, but Drew and Punk. That's probably gonna be told at Clash of the Castle. And that leaves like Priest up in the air as far as like talent to go against him. I have nothing against the young guy shooting his shot at the champion, similar to like Melo did with Cody. They could do an angle like that with Braun, and I'm okay with that. He is the anti-hero of sorts, to where like he will get cheered because of his nature of his character, like not a Sammy, but like a Seth or a Brock in that matter, to where like the young guy who's just athletic as fuck, he is a heel, but the crowd still loves him. Nadine, the same thing, not the athletic part, but just the crowd loves the anti-hero version of that character. So yeah, I let me see, Bron Breaker versus Priest. Let me just see, like, okay, young boy, you want to get in the ring with the champ? I will handle you.
For me,
I think Priest also needs that too.
Yeah, well, for me, it depends on if Priest. That is to me. It is to me. It depends on if Priest is beating Drew. If Drew wins, then I don't need to see Braun versus Priest. I would honestly like, because since Breaker is kind of a bully and Strowman said he doesn't like bullies, that's a feud I think we could see, like Bron Breaker versus Braun Strowman and Bron Breaker beating Strowman. That would be a really good marquee win for him. I still want to see Braun versus Priest, but also that's assuming Priest beats Drew. And honestly, the only way he beats Drew in Drew's hometown is if Punk interferes. But even then, I still wouldn't book it that way, I don't think. So, honestly, at this point, it's just keeping them in some storylines that are interesting that don't involve a title. Because I'm assuming Chad is going to get the IC. They're both heels. So I don't want to see him versus Chad. So then, you just got to keep him interesting. Maybe put him in a feud with Gunther real quick, because he never got in the King of Ring. He wants to challenge Gunther for that crown. That Gunther could be his first loss, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we just got to keep it busy. But let's move on, because we have been talking. All right, so we get Natty versus Kiana James. It's Kiana James's first debut. It was a really good match. Kiana James looked really smooth, and also it's Natty. Natty's the boat, but yeah, Kiana James looked really smooth, and she ends up winning. It was a really good match.
Nat is. I feel like this match, Nat was like shadow boxing. I think Nat. We all know that Nat wasn't getting the win here. Like, she was definitely putting over younger talent, but in this match, it's just Nat working on her move. It's kind of like, in the sense of like hoop, it's like you just on the court playing 1v1 with somebody just to practice your shit. She's just once again, we always talk about it, but she's a phenomenal fucking talent. You can just tell she's definitely in her back. She's really, I think, almost like in her prime.
Yeah. She's the boat.
We get Braun versus Carlito. If I'm not mistaken, this was like a quick little squash match.
Quick ass match.
He goes in.
Yeah, Braun wins. JD tries to jump him, but he's way too much. And then we see Dom without his sling for the first time because he tries to help.
Yeah.
He hits Strowman with a chair, and Strowman just tanks it and eats it, and he's about to attack Dom. But then we see Liv again, and Liv stops Braun from attacking Dominik. And then that's when Judgment Day finally gets the upper hand, and they beat the shit out of Braun. Like they hit his knee with a chair like fucking 20 times. It was good shit, but it's slowly planning the whole, Liv and JD, all this other stuff. But yeah, Liv saves Dom, and then JD, as far as McDonough, Finn, and Dominik, they get the upper hand on Braun Strowman. They beat his knee with a chair, and we'll just see where that goes.
We get the Jade, Bianca versus Zoe and Shayna. I believe that this match. No, that was for SmackDown. Never mind. Yeah.
It was
my note for this is that. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh no, you were talking.
Well, my note for this match was that the growth of Shayna and Zoe, they are here. They have been in promos backstage. They've been more present on TV and whatnot. I'm now solidified and invested in them as a team. They've been showing their in-ring ability as a team. So shout out to them for the growth or the work that they've been putting in to get their characters over, because it's definitely happening, or it definitely has happened, and I'm all in on Zoe and Shayna.
Word. That's good. I'm happy for that. I like both of them individually. As a team, I'm still looking for a little more growth, because I feel like it's just it's similar to like Rave Girls, or I would say it's similar to Rave Girls, to where it's like, you guys are both badasses, and Zoe obviously hates women shaking ass, even though Shayna is clearly a lesbo and she likes shaking ass, even though she doesn't like shaking ass at the same time.
She's a fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, but at the end of the day, Zoe's getting better on the mic. Shayna is better. They're good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the team as well. So throw them Z's up.
Just the growth. It was a shout out to their growth.
Yeah.
They're not complete yet, but they've definitely grown from what they were 3 months ago.
Yeah, this is their first match where you see them, or I feel like you see them actually do like a tag team move that they came up with or some shit. And before the interference, this was a really good match. I love all four of these women. And they all look good. The action was great. Did I make a joke? Yeah, I did. I wrote, if I wasn't attracted to them / equally afraid, I would say something wild. Actually, no, that's a terrible joke. But it was a good match. But eventually, Spooky Gals came out. They interfered. We've seen them backstage multiple times, even before they were drafted to the other show. They've been needing some screen time. Not even wanting, but they've been needing some screen time, because both of these women are talented, especially Alba. And there was maybe I was just high, but I almost wrote racial angle, just because Shayna and Zoe beat up Bianca, and the Spooky Gals beat up Jade, and it's like, just jumping on the black girls, But eventually they did fight each other, and I was like, that was on SmackDown. Actually, so no, on Raw it was totally a racial angle.
Oh, you're right.
On Raw it was good. On Raw it was a little racial. I don't know, but
you're right.
Yeah, it sets up
because
damn. It later sets up a match, but this is what we talked about multiple times during the shows, though. Like, we want some tag team storylines. We want tag teams to feel established. And SmackDown. And I'll talk about it, but they also have other storylines that don't involve titles, which is something that wrestling fans, especially as far as the women, we need storylines that don't always involve a title. If you give us a mid card, that's great, but we still need to develop all these characters. So it is what it is.
Right. You got to develop characters before you get a title in here.
Yeah, exactly. We get a backstage where Cross tries to further break up the New Day.
Didn't even write it down.
There wasn't. there wasn't any key like moments, but I did write down carrying Cross to me is actually good at kind of being funny, even if he's not trying to. There was a couple things that he said during this backstage where it was like in slash even last week, like with the ice cream thing, where it's like I feel like he could be really funny. There's something missing with their characters that still pisses me off.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. I need to change the page. Okay, yeah. Priest and Drew speak. There's a bunch of bullshit. Then we get a backstage segment. EO is still going crazy. EO attacks Lyra. We get Psycho
Yep.
Sky, which I thought that was a cool nickname. To me, it sounds like
Psycho Sky is dope.
It sounds like an anime attack. Psycho Sky. It sounds like but yeah, she beats the shit out of Lyra. Then we get the New Day versus AOP match, and I have to quote my wife real quick because she said something and it made me fucking laugh. So as as the New Testament is coming out, she randomly says, Cross looks like he would be a really good car mechanic. And then I just I just broke down laughing for like 2 minutes. Because she didn't mean it in a rude way. Like, it was just something random that came to her head. He looked like he'd be a good car mechanic. Like, it wasn't a jab or nothing. But
it was just harmless. It was a harmless.
Yeah, it was a harmless comment. But I took it funny because, again, who are these niggas? Why are these Sicilian niggas in these vests? And we got this old. Again, I don't understand the characters. I like Final Testament. I want them to succeed. I just want them to tell me who the fuck they are.
This match upset me, but I understood it because it's like you got to build New Testament up. They have to get wins off and whatnot. I just wasn't a fan of the squash against the New Day.
Yeah. But New Day can afford to lose. New Day can afford to lose, and they're.
But like,
it seems like they might actually break them up finally, which I'm kind of conflicted about. But it seems like they might finally break them up. The seeds that they're planting these seeds, and they've been pretty good. To where Cross is trying to recruit Xavier, or at least trying to break him and Kofi up. And the way that AOP wins is because Cross distracts Kofi, and then it sets up Xavier to get the finisher, which I cannot remember the new name. It's not Final Chapter anymore. It's something stupid. But AOP wins. Woods is like, where the fuck were you at? Kofi's like, I was right over here, but this nigga was distracting me. But it's planting seeds. We'll see if it happens, because it's not the first time they tease New Day splitting up, but it could happen. So
it was if they do it right and like there's like a good like story element to it, I'm here for it. But at the same time, like if you do split them up, where are we pushing it? Like you're pushing Kof to the like main event. You're pushing Woods in the mid card. He's already kind of in the mid card area. Like there's not really a direction that I could see them pushing either one of those two as solo competitors that they're not already doing, or maybe doing better as a tag team.
Right. I feel like the roster's too full. I feel like if you split them up, Xavier, either one of them, more than likely Xavier would be the one lost in the shuffle, because he was lost in the shuffle a lot, way before. Like it was they all three of them were, which is why they eventually started the New Day. But out of all three, Kofi had the most success as a single star. And I feel like if you split them up, you risk repeating that. Xavier Woods is great on the mic and he's great in the ring. And the last 3 years or so, he's super showed that, especially in ring wise. But again, like every company has a really full roster. Like there's a reason why Ricochet feels like he might have to leave. Andrade's been back for a while, and the only thing he's done so far is beef with 2 different Latino teams at this moment. So it's like, if you split these guys up, what are they going to do? Because if they just job, then that's kind of fucked up. And obviously, then eventually they would want to leave or whatever the fuck,
Yeah,
so.
And that's been like the formula, and like that shit may not work for everybody. We already know. We talk about AEW's roster being over fucking stacked, so it's like they may not have the room or like storylines for you as well. So I would rather WWE also retain some talent and make these storylines better around like, you know, characters who are not in the title picture, and they have been doing that. So we'll see. I'm not for breakup, but if they do it correctly, I'll be here. Outside of that, we did get the segment with Jey Uso. He talks about he's entering himself in Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the term was yeeting in the bank, which I don't really like, but
No,
yes,
but both his term,
money to yeet.
yeah, both of his terms sucked. Whatever DT said in the chat, I forgot what it was, like "yeet in the case" or something like that. That was better than whatever Jay said.
Yeet in the case is gross. Do you think Jey Uso needs to be in Money in the Bank?
No,
Same.
no,
I don't think
he's too over. And same with Sammy. Like if Sammy does lose, which I do expect him to lose the IC title, he doesn't need the briefcase either. Like honestly, based off of what you said earlier, as of right now, Sammy's my choice to win next Rumble. Because to me, that makes the most sense. So I don't. Yeah, no, but to answer your original question, no, Jay doesn't need Jay needs a mid card title first. So he can enter the match, but no, he's not winning it. He needs to win the IC or the US before he gets a fucking main title. So
I feel like Jay's above the mid card though. I feel like his presence right now it supersedes like US title or IC title. Like Jay touching IC title would feel like a huge downgrade to me, based on the way that Jay's momentum is right now.
It I understand what you're saying, but it's only a downgrade. Like if the crowd reacts the same way that they react, it's not a downgrade. And to be fair, he does need. I feel like, to me, to be fair, I feel like you can't just leave the tag team scene and then instantly be the world title. I feel like you need to win a mid card first. I feel like you need to win an IC or a US or, you know, if it was back in the day, like a European or something. I feel like you need to get a single title run. You need a single title run. And I don't feel like your first single title run should be the world title unless he did win the Money in the Bank. Then I'm going to say, no, your first title run should not be the world title run.
Okay, so like hypothetically,
which is
if
why
he had an IC run in 2016, good to go.
Yes, on paper. Yes.
Okay, all right, I can see that.
That's one of the reasons why, like, ever since Mania in LA, like I've been like, no, LA Knight, his first title is going to be US. I've been super firm on that. I've said it multiple times in the chat, and I said it a couple times on the pod, and I think he is going to finally beat Logan to get that title. I don't know. I feel like in today's age, I feel like you have to work your way up to be in the top card. Yeah, he's over as fuck. He's easily he's like in a top 5 most over fucking people in the entire company. And to me, honestly, having him win a mid card helps elevate that mid card because of how over he is. Like if he was the person to dethrone Gunther, even though I think Sammy was still the perfect person, then that's like an easy passing of the torch because you go from one over ass person to another over ass person. And Sammy Sammy's over as fuck. Like if Jay's the person to beat Gable, that's gonna be a phenomenal ass match in storyline.
But I also think the nigga's name is Main Event Jey Uso, and I don't think Main Event Jey Uso fits Main Event Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso. Like the issue I see is that like because Jay was built so fucking heavy during the Bloodline angle, to where like his run for the IC title should have been around the time where he was like on Raw and nobody liked him. To where now where you got the fans on your side, you are the biggest Uso now that Roman's out of like, you know, the WWE right now or just the storylines right now. Like you are that it Uso. You're that it guy right now. And we even saw that with the little like head nod that he had with Solo at Backlash. Like the dude he's just too over right now. I think he just graduated out of those mid card titles. And that's just based on being around Roman. Like that aura of Bloodline has just changed his trajectory a little bit for me.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. I still think he needs a single mid card title first, because the way he's over, like, because especially ever since Triple H took over, like their goal is to elevate the mid cards to make them seem as important as the top card, especially when you have your top belt like on someone like a Roman or someone who might not be there every week. So, like since Roman wasn't there every week, that's why they made that US, or no, specifically the Intercontinental. They made the Intercontinentals almost seem like fucking main title, especially because it was on Gunther. But like the way they did the video packages, etc., like they made that title seem extremely prestigious. And they've been doing it also with the US, especially now that it's on Logan. And I think since it's similar to how Sammy is now the Intercontinental, and I think he's definitely going to go to the main card now. I think you should do the same to Jay. It's just a pass, like it's just a passing of the torch type of thing. It's it you're not yeah, it's a passing of the torch type of thing. You're not skipping ahead. You're still over as fuck. He doesn't need to keep it forever, but since he's over as fuck, that makes that title over as fuck, and it makes that title feel still just as important as the heavyweight or the or undisputed or whatever the fuck you call it now.
Yeah, I guess it does also build like Jay's legacy as well. Like
Yeah,
it gives him like a rap sheet.
Yeah, and it gives him a resume to where it's like if he does challenge for the world title again, because he's had two main world title, or he's had three now. He fought Roman twice and he fought Priest. Getting a mid card title, it adds to that resume. You're already one of the greatest tag team champions. You did some other cool shit, and now you have a mid card title reign. Like it adds to that resume, is what I'm saying. But let's get real quick, because I feel like we're going over time. The last match, we get a tweak to Priest's entrance, which was really cool. I thought.
Yeah.
Same song, but they tweaked the camera angles and shit. It was real cool. We get Rey Mysterio versus Priest. I said Rey. I did right. Rey must have got a fresh shot of the prime stem cells, because that deadbeat is moving his ass off, and he was. He's a terrible father, and he's a terrible tag team partner, but he was fucking working, and
he was working. This was a good match, man. I did enjoy this match a lot.
It was a good ass match, and eventually Priest wins. I believe Judgment Day does come out to help. Judgment Day does come out to help, because eventually Dragon Lee comes out to try to even odds a little bit. But yeah, Priest wins. Drew comes out. He attacks Priest. Yeah, but he was not locked in, because he attacks Priest. He attacks Priest in the ring. He sets up Priest to put him through the table, the commentary table, and then he loses his focus again. He starts going after Michael Cole, like, you're calling me a hypocrite, blah blah blah, and then he gets fucking what is that move called? South of Heaven. Yeah, through a fucking table. And Judgment Day stands tall. And yeah, it's a repeat of what happened at Mania. I mean, it's a repeat of what's been happening the last couple months. And also, I don't know if you saw it, but even before he went off the ring, when he first attacked Priest in the ring, there was a moment where he grabbed the title, and before he could even lift it up, he dropped it. I don't know if it was.
I did see that. Yeah.
I don't know if it was on purpose. If it was on purpose, that's just great writing, because again, you're fumbling your shit, bruh. If you just focus, you stop fumbling the ball, bruh. But yeah, that was raw.
You're not wrong. Yeah, that was it. It was a solid episode.
It was like
I said, it was Judgment Day heavy. A shout out also to the wrestling grandmas, as there was a lot of grandmas front stage at these wrestling shows this week, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, because it made me think about my grandma. That shit was fucking great.
Does your grandma like wrestling?
Yeah, that was how I got into it. She was a wrestling head. So we're gonna take a quick break. After you get back from the break, we'll go into Dynamite, and we'll go into SmackDown after that. Catch you guys in a bit. And we're back, people. We're getting to some AEW Dynamite real quick. Some key notes of this episode. MJF is back. He came back at Double or Nothing, and he missed 1 week of Dynamite. Now he's on this week of Dynamite, and yeah, dude didn't lose a step. Comes out with a promo. He was saying like he's offended by Swerve call himself a business mogul. He says
He was
the
going
most
after
offensive
everybody.
line was he was going after everybody.
It's very similar
The
to
most offensive
that
thing.
Punk promo when he was on Raw, where he set up multiple storylines. Yeah, he attacked
That's
Ospreay, he
true.
attacked
That's true.
Swerve, he gave shit to the Elite.
Okada,
Yeah.
like he's back. He's shooting a shot. He's definitely attacking everybody. Looks like the first angle is going to be with Roosh. Roosh comes out and kind of questions like his celebration because I've been breaking my back here and you come back, you get like this big pop and everybody likes you and whatnot. One thing I get that it is Roosh's thing is the whole bull angle, but I don't like the idea of ending your promo with like, because when you mess with the bull, you get the horn. It didn't hit for me, but that's his gig. That's his stick. That's his gimmick. I can't knock a man's hustle.
It's corny though. It's okay to like. It's like I like Roosh. It's okay to say it's
Yeah,
corny.
Roosh has a talent. Great.
It's an old phrase. It's not And granted, he does have some broken English, so it doesn't make it hit at like it already hits less, but due to that, it makes it hit even less. And it's just just change it.
Yeah,
Especially if you don't wear horns at all.
It's true. I mean, he come up with the mask, or his mask has like horns, I believe.
Okay.
I thought it did. Yeah, I think it does. With this, they also had like the what chance in there, and like there's a lot of comments, surprisingly, from like the people I did see talk about this angle. It's like, hey, we don't need the what chance for people who don't speak English as like a first language. Like that's kind of corny in itself. I get that it's a gimmick in wrestling to say what after everything, but when it's like a foreign talent saying like the promo in English, you can't be like what? Like that's kind of played. I don't really like it. I think you can do better than that.
Yeah.
And MJF also squashes it in the same vein too. Like it was a pretty good like pickup from him because he sits there and he's like, he says, "Oh, I can't hear you," and people thought that he was talking about like his English, but it's more so just the production side of it. He's like, "No, I really can't hear you," and then he's like, "Oh, the crowd does the what chance," and he's like, "No, we're not doing that," He ends up like shouting out Roosh and giving him his props and whatnot.
Which real quick,
Yeah.
30-second rant. I hate the what chants. The what chants are stupid. The what chants are dumb in every company. Doesn't make any sense. And yes, fans mostly do it to people who are broken English or to people who they just are not interested in. And it's fucking stupid. It's rude. Like they did it during Piper and Bayley's promo also. And Piper gave her best promo since being on the main roster.
Best promo.
And yeah, no, it's just fucked up. It's stupid. Like stop the what chants. Like they're dumb as fuck. They're dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, ran over.
Definitely overused for sure. So yeah, we look like we're getting Roosh versus MJF as his first match back into AEW. I'm okay with it. It gets Roosh back on the scene. I wonder if it would have to be at Forbidden Door. I think this is the best place to do it, considering the AAA and like the CML talent that we just talked about earlier today. It's not really a Forbidden Door per se because they're both AEW talent. But as far as like just I don't know, like is it a Forbidden Door thing? Is it not? I don't know. I find it very hard that you don't have MJF on Forbidden Door. Like I don't think that you can go.
Yeah, he should
without him.
Yeah, no, he should have something. He should have something. My concern with Roosh being the first match is that Roosh is a hard hitting mother effer. Like he be laying it in, similar to like a Ilya or a Gunther or a Sheamus. Like So for me personally, I wouldn't want that to be my first match. But get it. He wants to be the wolf or whatever. So yeah, if that's the first match you want, go ahead and get it, Max.
And I honestly, actually, I think in this promo he talks about like he doesn't know like what kind of person he's going to be fighting at Forbidden Door. So maybe it won't be at Forbidden Door. Maybe this was going to be like a Dynamite or a Collision, probably a Dynamite like or main event, and then he'll end up having some New Japan or somebody from CMLO to like go against. Yeah, because he does bring it up in this promo that he doesn't know who he's fighting at Forbidden Door. We get some video packages throughout this entire episode of AEW. There's a dope one with Roderick Strong. The Mercedes one was really good. There is another one with Daniel Garcia. Like, the production for the show is pretty solid. We're getting some really good backstories on the talent and some of the talent's opponents as well.
Yo, real quick, this is the show where they had a QR code for Mercedes, wasn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not going to talk shit about that. I just want to reiterate that based off our conversation last week, again, they could have done something to hint that MJF was going to show up, but I don't want to beat a dead horse. It is cool.
I see.
But no, it's cool that, because there was rumor that Mercedes celebration / her match with Sky Blue or whatever took away Soraya's match that was supposed to happen, and Soraya tweeted some spicy stuff. All that is rumor, but it's cool that they gave her a QR code. I'm not going. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool when they do something different. It's cool.
A Burberry QR code for MJF would have been kind of crazy. A little Burberry like QR code that would have hit for me. I'd be like, oh, okay, I see what y'all doing here. Little teasers and whatnot. We get a fatal 4-way. Winner faces Will Ospreay for the international championship next week, I believe. 3 former international champions in this match with Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rey Fenix. Jay Lethal also being the 4th competitor here. Very fun match. A lot of jam-packed action as you would expect from the 4 of them. Not really too much to take away from this. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great segment and whatnot. I kind of did deductive reasoning with this. I thought Kyle O'Reilly had a shot last week, so he's probably not going to get it. Orange Cassidy's in a feud with Trent Beretta right now. I don't think he's going to get it. And there's in between Rey Fenix and Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal's been losing the majority of most of his matches. So this one's okay, well, Rey Fenix is definitely going to get this shot here. He just came back. Go for it. They'll probably have a great one-on-one. He does end up winning this match. They'll probably have a great high-flying one-on-one. Rey Fenix.
I knew who. I just wanted you to say it for the audience, by the way.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you.
Rey Fenix does get the dub here, and I think they're going to have a banger next week. I don't think he wins per se, but I definitely think that it's going to be a very fun match to watch.
Phoenix versus Ospreay should be extremely fire. Assuming no one gets hurt, it should be fire. Another quick 30-second tangent. Based off of this booking, I'm still very upset. During Dynasty or whatever the fuck the last paper. No, it was Double or Nothing. I said Trent should have won. And, now Trent's part of Don Callis, but yet Don Callis still wants Orange Cassidy. So then why would Trent be happy with it? The booking with this makes no sense. And I'm still upset with Chris betraying her boyfriend. To me, that still makes no sense. But also I'm happy that Chris is getting time. 30-second rant is...
Yeah. That's funny because after this match, this is where Trent heads down to the ring. He's going to attack Orange Cassidy. Chris looks like she's about to intervene until she fucking drops or punches Orange in the face. That's when Willow comes out and we get the split, which is probably it seems like they're heading towards what we had talked about before, which was the mixed tag team match.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to get
both people who lost their best friends. It's probably going to happen. We got too much Jericho this week.
What?
A lot of learning tree promos.
4 to 5 segments. And again, I apologize. I apologize because I said he might start naming people different trees, and he's already started. There's only 2 people in the group, and he said Big Bill was a redwood, I think. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the fuck he called Brian Keith, but I apologize. I fucking apologize, you guys. I am so sorry.
Yeah, he kept saying Bad Apple. I don't know if he's referring to Brian Keith as the Bad Apple. I'm not sure.
That's the
but yeah, there's a lot of Jericho.
Bad Apple.
Look at you, learning tree.
2 towns.
Can't get away from it.
I need to.
Too much Jericho. That was my notes here. A lot of segments that are I get it for the character, but 4 is a lot. 2, 1 good one. We get into a TNT Championship qualifying match.
Wait, real quick.
Briscoe and Brian
Cage. All the goddamn thing, all the segments are pretty much just him giving his random ass advice, which I'm seeing some fans turn around oh, this is actually kind of entertaining. Just like Jericho's stuff, there's at least 2 to 3 weeks where there actually is entertainment, and then it goes back to the bullshit. But I'm sorry, no, just a white man giving unsolicited advice in 2024 is not entertaining to me. No one asked you for advice, my guy.
You know what? I found it, and I was sitting back like look at the notes from like weeks before. And I'm like, the EVPs and Jericho kind of doing the same thing right now.
No, they're doing the exact same thing.
They're both playing the like we're harmless but we're evil kind of thing. And I need some difference to be done here. I think the EVPs of what they have going on is fine because that plays off of like real world like things that people think about them. And then Jericho's learning tree angle, I guess that also plays off of real world shit too, because the whole Jericho vortex and everything.
So
they're both pulling.
Which again,
from, like,
it makes you like it lets you know that he's listening to the fans and he's purposely doing shit to irritate people. But
absolutely.
But it's the same thing. It's the disingenuous heel to where it's like you're waving to the crowd, you're smiling. Hey, I know you guys love me. I'm a heel, even though I'm a heel. You guys he's doing the exact same character. The difference is he's not EVP and he's wearing a title that again has no recognition in this company.
No value.
It has no value.
Yeah.
So, and then 4 segments, like we could have got a fucking another women's. We could have got anything. We did not need to see this bleach blonde, bad built. Butch body.
Butch body. Bad built Butch body.
We did not need to see that 4 times. We did not need to see that.
TNT Championship qualifier match with Mark Briscoe and Brian Cage. Once again, it was still an enjoyable match. My question is that, like, why is the Ring of Honor champion in a TNT qualifier match that he kind of doesn't need to be in? I get that from an entertainment aspect. Mark Briscoe's gonna be very entertaining in this match, but I think that like his efforts would be better, suited bringing up the ROH division because they definitely need that. If not, you could put the belt in somebody's hands who does want to be in ROH to help build up that their stock and that division. That's my takeaway from just him in this because he does end up being Brian Cage, and honestly. This one was also a good prediction because I don't think I want to see Brian Cage in a ladder match. I don't think that fits for me at all.
I mean, it really depends on who's in it because he is agile, similar to like a Dijak or a Keith Lee. Like he can do like some big spots or whatever, but
I guess you are right.
But it also depends on who else is in the match. Like I don't know the full the card, but no, I agree with you. Mark Briscoe, even though he is super talented, and honestly, if he wasn't the ROH champion, I wouldn't mind that he's in this match. It's one of those things again to where it's similar to like when fucking Samoa Joe had his title, the ROH title, and he just relinquished it even to go after the AEW, even though technically kayfabe wise he could have just held 2. They don't. Tony or the company in general does not book these ROH titles to feel important. They're damn near just props or paperweights, which is one of the reasons they combine the trios. So eventually some of these titles unless they get their own streaming service or their own show, eventually all these titles are probably going to get merged, or half of them will, similar to the trios. And it's just
I'm looking at
it's weird.
I'm looking at Mark Briscoe's like matches too. He won against Eddie, and like his next match was against Griff Garrison, and that was his only title defense, and that happened in April. So like we're in June, he's only defended the belt once. It's a little questionable to me. We could definitely build up ROH a little bit more to help out their division for sure, especially when they didn't have Wheeler Yuta either. Like you didn't have Wheeler out there, which is kind of like their secondary. I think it might be tied with the one that Kyle Fletcher has, or the title might be tied to the one that Kyle Fletcher has too.
Kyle Fletcher has a title?
I thought he does.
Oh, sweet Christmas!
I thought Kyle Fletcher has an ROH title, or maybe I'm tripping. I'll look that up. But I thought he had one. So yeah, from there we get Joe and Hook have a segment. Um, this one is a very funny one, and he comes up and like they're beefing with the premier athletes, which is Tony Nese and Ari Daivari, I believe. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
And
I did not know
which I've seen
Tony
these guys
Nese
in a
was
while.
still in this company. I did not know that.
Yeah, he was on this week's episode of Dynamite. They slapped the Funyuns out of Hook's hands, and rightfully so, because Funyuns are fucking disgusting. And prompts some beef, just like, hey man, like, you know, this whole time you hear still eating shit like this, smacks the Funyuns out of his hand. Hook's response was, your entire time, you still here after all this time, you're still here losing matches? I like it. Sounds spicy. We got a little feud with them. Joe pulls Hook away, says like, nah, they don't dictate when we fight. We dictate when we fight. He later gets interviewed by Renee. They ask like, oh, is this some kind of mentorship? And before he can answer that, like, you know, shit breaks out. So it looks like we are getting the Joe Hook combo, which I'm down for. I think it's gonna be great. We've already talked about that.
Yeah.
Swerve addresses a Swerve promo where he addresses MJF. You know, it's basically whenever you want it, come get it kind of thing. He has a contract for this AEW World Championship match that will be sent to Ospreay. Talks about the Young Bucks, and then he talks about how Team AEW shouldn't forget the World Champion next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That also makes me think that they're not done with the whole Team AEW angle. They'll probably do one more Team AEW versus Elite 2 or whatever at some fucking pay-per-view, probably after All In or something.
Well,
like that.
after Arena, we're gonna get a blood and guts match. But my only thing is, hopefully it's a new, different Team AEW, because you know I complained about the members in the last, like, again, 3 of your members are ex WWE people, even though FTR cuts a rah-rah speech every fucking week. So sure, they're AEW, sure, whatever. But then you got Darby Allin, who again had a broken foot and just got hit by a bus. You could have chose anybody. You could have chosen Ricky Starks. You could have chose a Swerve. You could have saved the Christian shit. You could have chose a Swerve. You could have
storyline. They did choose a lot of injured people. A lot of people who were there beating the fuck up during that entire like week. Daniel was beat, FTR was beat up, Darby was going through his shit. So maybe that was on purpose. Maybe they wanted to choose and beat down people, and then the next round you get fresh like AEW members.
I guess, bro. A nigga who won the match was set on fire. But again, that's last week's episode. You can hear my rage about that.
Yes, you can hear that. Last week's episode on YouTube. Subscribe. Check that out. We got another video package for Mercedes putting over Stephanie back here. Really dope. They're listening. We're getting video packages and descriptions of talent that we've never seen before. Because after I watched this, I went and did some research, and I didn't realize that the New Japan title that they have, or the New Japan Strong Women's Belt, is only to be on the New Japan Strong live program, which only features in America.
Right, which essentially was... Yeah, I'm sorry. Essentially, it was created for Mercedes. She's about to be a double champion.
Absolutely. That's definitely where we're going here, because New Japan controls the booking, and she definitely didn't finish her booking dates with them. She's going to be double champ. Mm-hmm. The belt was held by Willow, Julia, and now Stephanie. So out there's definitely a match between Willow and Julia, which I think is really dope, and I would definitely try to find that. I will go find that and watch that. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be a dope match. That's also been added to the Forbidden Door match card. We get a Blackpool Combat Club match versus CMLL's Voter Jr., Magnus, Rugito, and Esfange. And this is the return of Wheeler Yuta. It's the first time that Blackpool Combat Club has been together since the last Anarchy in the Ring of last year.
Jesus.
So this is really dope to see that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't know it was that long. I looked it up to double check, and it was definitely a year ago. So shout out to Wheeler Yuta. We talked about him briefly, about him being injured. It's good to see him back on TV. This was a fun match. It was just bangers, man. Like brawlers and luchadors. I don't know what you want from that. What more could you ask for? That's what you got.
A good match. I mean,
A damn good match.
No, that's what I was asking for.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it was fine. I'm being facetious. Anyway, continue.
I will say I do like I said it before. I love seeing the CMLL talent. They're just dope.
Yeah, luchador talent is great, man. Absolutely.
It's just, bro, this dude. I think the term is donkey flipped. Like he fucking donkey flipped Claudio. Like that's a big motherfucker to do that to. Bro, like you were laying down and just flip this motherfucker like and hurl him in the air. Like that's not easy to fucking do, bro. Yeah, fun match. BCC gets the win, which also fits like their story because they've also had several matches with the same talent in CMLL. I believe they went to Mexico instead of Wheeler Yuta. They had Matt Sydal, and they fought them. So they just continue the storylines or their beef with them. We get Mariah May versus Saraya, and this is the match that we're like, this is second to match of the week. This is right behind Ludwig and Sheamus because Saraya got busy. She showed everybody that, hey, y'all keep sitting me. I can fucking go out here and wrestle, and she can fucking wrestle. The submission that she put her in to win the match was insane. The story dynamic while Mariah's in the submission to look over at Tony for like approval to tap out, the camera angle catching that, like it was really dope. Like cinematography, if you will, because they're definitely looking at or showing the angle of Mariah May holds Tony in such a high regard that she doesn't want to look like a failure in front of her, and so she's like, instead of just tapping out and just like, hey, it's okay. She looks over and like she just couldn't do it and just fucking tapped out. I thought the story for Mariah May would have been held or would have been done or at least heated up by now, but it looks like we may get that post Forbidden Door. We'll see what happens when it's Tony versus Mina.
Yeah,
which
right now they were having a les off where, yeah. I mean, essentially it's like les off. You know what month it is, bro? Shout out to all my gay niggas. Shout out to Bright Muff. But they were, Mina and Tony were fighting over Mariah, and Mariah's like, hug my bosom, hug my bosom. I love both of you. I don't want to choose. Like, essentially, we need similar to what, similar to what Rhea and Liv need to have. Fucking Tony and Mina need to have a custody of Mariah match. Honestly,
2 custody matches in the year. I would love that. Custody of Dom and custody of Mariah.
Yeah.
Book it.
Or a scissor off. I don't know if that's appropriate for me to say. I apologize.
Scissor off sounds like a crazy fucking evolution for a Pokemon.
Okay.
You just call it scissor off.
Cool. All right, that way we keep it PG that way. All right. It's a Pokemon, you guys. That's exactly what I meant to say.
Scissor off.
I need a scissor off.
Mega Evolution. Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay.
Scyther. Or Scizor. No, Scizor, yeah.
Scizor.
Mega Evolution of Scizor.
You
got to get 2 female Scizors, and you have to like evolve them at nighttime though, and it becomes a scissor off.
A scissor off. Oh fuck, that's funny. Yeah, so Mina accepts the challenge that was made at the recent Stardom show for Mariah, or recent Stardom show from Tony, asking her challenger or be her challenger for Forbidden Door. So we got that confirmed. Backstage, we hear from Daniel on this is the final year of full-time competition, and how he's not like going away, but he won't be wrestling full-time anymore. Says he lost in big matches. So the straw that broke the camel's back was the Anarchy in the Arena, and that his decision is that he's going to join the Owen Hart Cup, which will the winner earns a shot at the AEW World Championship at All In. My question with this is that, does Daniel need to have the AEW Championship to like complete his AEW run or his full-time run? Do you think that's like he needs to have it?
If Wembley is I mean, because he's been talking a lot. So essentially, it seems like his contract ends before Wembley, but he's obviously going to extend it a week or whatever. And I guess he plans to still wrestle, but just not be full time, whatever the case is. To answer the question, I'm going to say no. He does not need to win it to solidify his anything or whatever. I would say though he should win fucking something because he has lost. He's lost every single big match that has mattered, or it was a draw. A part of me feels like, based off of every interview he's ever done since he's been a part of AEW, it doesn't seem like he wants the responsibility of being the main champion, which is fine. My problem is then stop jobbing all the time to all these big matches, like if you don't want to ever win it, because at this point beating you, it's not that like beating you doesn't have as much weight anymore at this point, because literally almost every single person, every big feud you've been in, you lost. So beating you doesn't have the same weight as it would have like, oh, someone who beat Brock, like when Cody beat Brock Lesnar, it was a crazy ass thing because not that many people beat Brock Lesnar, or some shit like that. So like everyone at this point has beaten Daniel or Brian. So I mean, to me, it's not like you're not giving off the big rub. Pause if someone beats you. But let's I don't want to keep saying God damn it. I took a speech class, you guys. Based off of Wembley and based off of them already doing Swerve in Ospreay and now MJF is back, I could totally see Ospreay and Daniel 2 at Wembley. That would be a really good main event. Assuming Ospreay beats Swerve, If think a fatal 4-way with Swerve, Ospreay, and MJF and Daniel, that would be cool too for Wembley, I guess. If we're talking about for the Sickos, to me, that's a sicko match.
That's a sicko match. You're not wrong.
So, I know we'll see. But, Daniel's not wrong. He's lost every big match. Him being in the cup makes it interesting. And assuming Ospreay beats Swerve, having Ospreay versus Daniel 2 at Wembley, I think would sell a lot of shit. Would sell a lot of tickets.
But Daniel's also just an ass when it comes to, like, the way he sets up his matches and shit like that, too. Because Daniel could be like, I'm going to go to the Owen Hart Cup and lose in the first round.
Yeah, he could.
And just do it just to fuck with people. Like, that's just how he gets down. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but can I see him pulling that shit? Absolutely. Because he likes the whole story, like, I got to climb my way back to the top. I keep losing, like that kind of thing. I'm the American Dragon, but I keep fucking losing. And I say that because, like, also, they come back to Tacoma for is it WrestleDome?
Yeah,
something
WrestleDome,
like that.
which is I predicted it would be him and Swerve, but we'll see.
So like, they come back then. To where my thought is that like for Owen Cup, this might be the time where Paige comes back and you run fucking Swerve Paige 3 at All In.
Wouldn't that be Swerve Paige 4?
Would it? I thought it was only.
It might 3. It might be 3, but even then, it will be a good match, but we don't need it. Because you can't we talked about it before. You cannot up the ante. Their
that match.
Their last solo match, he drunk this nigga's blood. You can't go above that. That was my complaint again with the flamethrower shit. Like next Anarchy, someone needs to be shot. I'm sorry. We had someone try to run someone over with a bus, and we had someone set on fire. How else do you top it besides someone either getting shot or, I don't know, drugged by a helicopter? You have to do something fucking crazy.
Fuck, bro, I just had the craziest fucking thought in my head. Like, watch next Anarchy at the Arena, somebody gonna shoot Darby with a taser gun, and you be like, think it had to get shot.
You have to get shot by something. Something has happened. How do you top a flamethrower? Don't answer this question right now, but I want everyone to think about it. If you're gonna have the same match. It doesn't matter who the contendants are, who the talent is. How do you top over someone getting hit by a bus, someone getting be hung by their foot or their feet, and then also someone being set by fire. Those are 3 big ass crazy spots, and those are only 3 I can remember right now. But 2 of them are really wild. 2 of them are murder or homicide. How do you top that? That's not for us. But I would love to hear some. I would love to hear some guesses.
Getting super kicked by taser boots.
This, like you're like, are they fighting Static Shock? Like what do we like? And speaking of taser boots, a nigga already had a face mask with tacks in it and got super kicked with tacks. What else can you do? Again, someone gotta pull out the blicky at this point, or fight on top of a moving train. Like something happened. Like I need some major. How do you top that? I saw a nigga get set on fire and win the match. I don't know how you top it. I'm willing. I
put the wrestling ring on a boat and watch somebody get dumped off the side.
They had the Cruise of Jericho shit though before. I mean, no one.
They did.
No one got thrown off the boat, but you know,
they did have matches on that. They said they had matches on the boat.
You know, it was in the boat. Like the ring was inside the boat, or the boat. It wasn't like on the deck or nothing. You know.
That's a crazy ass cruise. To wrap up the show, we got an AEW World Championship match. Swerve Strickland versus Roderick Strong. Roderick kind of forced. I think it was Christopher Daniels' hand at challenging Swerve. So this wasn't one of those ones where like he earned a title shot. He just kind of barged in like, I demand a title shot. And at first I was like, that doesn't fit. Like you just lost. Go back to the back of the line. But from a weird challenger angle, I could see it. Like Swerve's opponent or next opponent is going to be Ospreay. Ospreay's last opponent is Roderick Strong. I kind of see how you keep him in the ecosystem, I guess. All in all, was not mad at this. I think I've said it before, like the Undisputed Era boys, all of them know how to fucking get down. With the exception, I said 3 of the 4, because I haven't seen Bobby Fish wrestle, so I don't really know how Bobby gets down. But
he gets down, but he's injury prone, and he's not with AEW anymore. So
yeah, so I don't have any recollection on Bobby, but Kyle, Cole, Roderick, it don't matter who you put them up against, them boys are gonna fucking go crazy. This is a good challenge for Swerve. I like to see like somebody who is on like main event level caliber go against Swerve.
It's a good match, and I agree with what you said. My problem with it being Roderick is that he literally just lost the title a week ago.
Right. So instead of rematching it or running it back with the nigga you lost it from, you just skip the line and go for the world champion, which I think you could have also saved that. Like we could have ran this back with Ospreay one more time. Like we didn't have to do Swerve just yet.
I mean, Swerve could have fought because last week it's honestly wait, when is Forbidden Door? Is it this month or is it in July?
It's this month. It's the end of June.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused because it seems like they're about to do him and Christian again before the Ospreay match. But I could be tripping. But I mean, he fought the Dinosaur last week, cut off his shit, and fought Roderick this week, and then doesn't Christian come out again or something, or doesn't?
No, there was a segment earlier this week where Christian just asked for another shot.
Okay.
But the Bucks was like, hey, we'd love to give you a shot. We'd love to give everybody a shot, kind of like symbolizing or saying like, hey, we'll try. We can't, look out for you, but we'll see. But I think next week we're probably gonna get an Ospreay match because he took the week off.
Yeah, he took this week off,
and
which some dirt seats were like, "Oh, he's taking a sabbatical," and he
it's crazy. I saw that. I just said a sabbatical, nigga. Like a week off? Yes, nigga. I'm at home with my family for a week.
A week, a week is not like the way the article made it seem like he was going to take like a couple weeks off or like a month off or some shit. And it was from No DQ, which they're not just like. Wrestling Observer, they're not the most accurate. They're not a PW Insider or a Fightful, but the way they headlined it made it seem like Ospreay was going to take like a couple weeks off, and he's like, "Bruv, I'm only going home for a week," or some shit.
Like, relax. There's a dope backbreaker on the top of the turnbuckle. Once again, Roger's king of the backbreakers, as you told me. This dude is fucking nuts.
Messiah,
that shit. Messiah, the backbreaker. There's a Swerve stomp out of a backbreaker, which is fucking nuts. Like the way he can get that off is also like very impressive. Because the nigga was like being cradled and just turned it into a fucking swerve stomp, which is just fucking dope. Yeah, last of my notes is I enjoyed it. I think a lot of this could also be foreshadowing a technical wrestler against Swerve. So once again, foreshadowing Swerve versus Daniel at some point. Because they're not the same as far as technicality, but Roderick is definitely a technical wrestler in a nutshell. He was reversing a lot of fucking Swerve kicks too.
I am not a betting man.
I thought it was a dope.
Yeah, no, I'm not a betting man, but I would be extremely disappointed if we don't get Swerve versus Bryan at Tacoma Dome. It literally makes the most sense. They're both from Washington.
Yeah, it would just depend on how do we get there.
Easily, like you just book Tony. He books for the Sickos. Bro, the other homie was just in an eliminator match for zero reason. Kyle Fletcher was in an eliminator match, zero reason. Dustin Rhodes versus Mojo, eliminator match, zero reason. All you do is just book it. It's Tony Khan's booking. AEW fans are going to like it because it's TK. Just book Daniel versus Swerve, Tacoma, Washington match. That's all they have to do. No one's going to bat a fucking eye.
No.
And that's not even me throwing a shot. But that's me being neutral as possible. No one's going to bat an eye because it's for the Sickos.
Special guest referee, Darby Allin.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I would hate that.
Yo, if y'all can see the way this man's face just turned, it was fucking hilarious.
But what you just told me gave me an idea, or I don't want to say an idea, but logically, the best way to do this Swerve versus Ospreay at Forbidden Door is to add Cage to it, and that way Cage could take the pin, so neither Swerve or Ospreay takes the pin, and that way Swerve or Ospreay isn't immediately a double champ, and then Swerve isn't immediately a transitional champion. Make it a triple threat. That is the best way to do it.
Somebody has to lose.
No, because
somebody has to take the L.
Not right now.
And I think Ospreay has to take the L to Swerve. You have to. You got to. Swerve, he needs that one big win. Something away from Joe. He needs this one. He has to beat Ospreay clean.
Ospreay's more popular than him. You don't beat Ospreay clean.
But that's why
Ospreay
he needs
shouldn't even be on this match. This match shouldn't even be happening right now.
Absolutely not. But he should. He needs to win more than Ospreay needs to win on Swerve. If Swerve gets pinned by Ospreay, it's not going to do more than what it would do for him pinning Ospreay.
Yes,
because Ospreay's already popular. He's already over.
I mean, Swerve was over too, and then it's AEW booking. Now I'm throwing shots. Now he's not as popular as he was when he was breaking into niggas' homes and holding babies for whatever reason.
That's true.
Okay, all right. So, but my other alternative is. Yes, he beats Swerve, or Swerve beats Ospreay, but it's because Don Callis finally turns on Ospreay. He honestly Swerve cannot go over Ospreay clean. Ospreay is the biggest person in this company besides MJF right now. Is my thing. And again, this match shouldn't be happening, but this match is happening. So you have to figure out a way to get out of this match without making either of these guys look like shit or completely burying them. And if you don't add the triple threat, if you don't do the triple threat to where neither of them gets pinned, the only other thing I can think of is Don Callis finally turns on Ospreay. But we can talk about that later. Yeah. Let's get into SmackDown. All right, that was it.
Before we get into SmackDown, I got one last question about AEW. Who does Okada has been quiet. Forbidden Door is right around the corner. I would assume that they probably have something lined up for Okada for facing somebody. For the Continental Championship, because right now after Anarchy in the Arena, I don't think we've seen a lot of him. We did the we didn't talk about it, but the Lamborghini angle was fucking funny. But he hasn't been in the ring with nobody yet. So before we get into SmackDown, I just want to bring up Okada's been quiet.
Yeah, because they killed his character. Not to be dramatic, but again, he was literally like the Cena, peak Roman in Japan. Okada was that guy. It was Okada, Kenny Omega, and like Tanahashi and Ospreay. Like those, like there was a reason he was one of the biggest draft agents besides a Mercedes or a Jay White, and now he is just a regular ass Japanese nigga here. He still doesn't take any losses though, but he doesn't. Again, as the kids say, he doesn't have the aura. Because if you see any of his New Japan shit, his aura was again Roman Cena levels.
Out of here.
I mean, he could have a match. I mean, shit, it might just be against a I mean, now that we know that AAA and CML is there, it could just be against someone random. It could be It could be someone random from New Japan or someone a random luchador or something. Or he just doesn't have a match, or they do another 6-man or some shit. I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll find out. Smackdown. Let's jump into it.
Okay. Yeah, Solo / Bloodline open the show. We get a new tweak to the Solo entrance. It's looking more Empire power, more I'm the new kingpin of this shit aura vibe to it. Yeah, he's with Heyman. Heyman says until Roman comes back, Solo sits at the head of the table. So we're officially getting, I mean, it's been hinted at, but as of right now, it's official. Yeah. Solo is head of the table. And after that, Solo is like, you need to thank the other two for saving you last week, and you need to anoint them. So we get an anointment. Heyman anointed both of the members. Yeah, anoints. Okay. So Tama Tonga is officially, he has the Jey Uso title. He is officially the right-hand man because he was there first, and he's been there for a while. And then he officially adds Tonga Loa, and his title is, as of right now, is the the infamous, whatever the fuck that. I mean, I know what infamous means, but as far as being a group title, I don't know if that's a group title. You have the right hand man, and you have the infamous Loa. Like it's not the same thing, but you know, Solo. Yeah, again, Solo makes Heyman thank them. Then KO shows up. He goes for the 1v1. Profits come to help, and they all attack each other, which sets up for a 6-man tag later. I did make a note. Where the fuck did B-Fab come from? Because Profits showed up. We get a 3v3 brawl, and then all of a sudden, B-Fab is just on the ropes. I was like, where the fuck does bitch come from? Bitch, respectfully. Not derogatory. Where does bitch come from? She just showed up. I'm like, was she under the ring? Like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, she was there.
My side comment about the Paul Heyman angle is that I was like, man, Paul Heyman reminds me of somebody in this situation right now. Just the way he looks, the way he's talking, like, who is this? And I couldn't put my finger on it, and I thought about it. Iago. Paul
From
Heyman
Aladdin?
is Iago to Jafar. Yes. This nigga is the scared henchman on the side that's trying to get the hell out. He's here only by technicality when it comes to Solo. He doesn't really want to be here, but he's here because I'm afraid. So I was like, Paul Heyman is Iago. Yeah, that's my comparison right now.
Holy fuck. Okay, Iago from Aladdin 2 or the cartoon, where it's like, Jafar's gone, I'm a good guy now, sorta, but during Aladdin 2, when Jafar showed back up, he's like, hey, I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry. Okay, I would give you, dude, that is fucking amazing. That is absolutely
that's what he feels like to me.
That is a great,
in particular, Aladdin 2. You're right.
That is fucking great. Bro. Okay, yeah. We get a back scene stage of Cody waiting for AJ in the parking lot. After that, we get another backstage segment. Solo demands Heyman make a 6-man match for later tonight, and if he doesn't do it, you're gonna have to fight Tama Tonga in the fucking locker room. And Heyman's like, the other match is a better match. And it just adds more to the story to where like Roman never threatened Heyman. But Solo again is like, he's more, violent. He's hiring violent family members, coworkers. Like, he's literally threatened the wise man. And eventually, I feel like that's what's going to make Roman come back, because you don't threaten my wise man. And when that baby face, bro, Like,
if he hits Paul, like that would be crazy.
something's gonna happen. They're gonna attack Paul, and then Roman's gonna fucking show up, bro.
Oh.
And that baby face pop. Woo! All right, man, it's gonna be wild. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. We get it back. We get so after that we get Jade versus Bianca. Jade and Bianca versus Candice and Indy. Number 2. It was a really good match. Indy is so much better now. She's doing good. Candice is in her bag, especially as a heel. Zoe and Shay Shay show up on one side, and then Spooky Gals. I'm going to still call them Spooky Gals until I see something different. As far as I'm concerned, they're still witches. Spooky Gals show up. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They're watching the match, but yeah, Bianca, Jade win. Then they both attack, and then we foreshadowed it earlier. So yeah, both teams attack Bianca and Jade, and then it gets to the point where Shay Shay and Zoe grab one tag title. Spooky Gals grab the other title. Then they finally fight. So it's not feeling all racial this moment. And then fucking Black Bombshells, Cocoa Butter Combat Club, they get the fucking upper hand. They beat up all 4 motherfuckers. And yeah, they're looking fucking strong as shit. And later, we'll just say it now. Later, they leave all this as room. They set up a triple threat. So we're going to get a triple threat women's tag match at Clash of the Castle with Shay Shay and Zoe, Black Bombshells, Cocoa Butter Combat Club, and then Spooky Gals, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn.
Fire. Isla. Yep. I'm here for that. I love that. I love that booking. That's a great booking. I think it gets Spooky Girls involved. They've been prancing around the tag team titles and
for a while,
doing promos about it for a while now. Yeah, so like this is cool. I like it.
Yeah, and this is one of the first times. It's not the first time, but it's one of the first times in a while that it's starting to feel like a legit tag team division, which is something that we've talked about on multiple episodes.
Yeah,
and
they're putting effort in.
Yeah, and there's something else that they're putting effort in. And honestly, I'll just say it now because I don't want to forget. There's 2 other things that happen in this show with, like, for example, Nia Jax and Mia Yim with Tiffany Stratton. And then there's a moment with Naomi and Chelsea Green. And now it seems like they're finally, like, besides the tag matches and besides the Bayley storyline, there are 2 other storylines that don't involve titles. Like, they're giving us other storylines with the women that don't need to involve titles, which is making me feel way more comfortable to them finally be like, all right, give us a mid-card. Because, again, our whole argument was, like, flesh out the tag division before you give us a fucking women's intercontinental. You know?
Correct.
And this seems like they're starting to flesh it out a little bit. They still need to do some work on Raw / NXT, but they're starting to flesh it out. And now, as far as SmackDown goes, I mean, Raw too, but with SmackDown, yeah, we're getting, on both shows, we're getting storylines with the women that don't involve the title, which is good. That means more women are getting time. That means there's more storylines. And again, like, not everyone has to be circled around this fucking trophy. So
they're doing it in a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Like the SmackDowns are way more fleshed out than Raws are as far as like storylines revolving around multiple characters, to where like this week I felt like it was very Judgment Day heavy, as you've mentioned that they all kind of feel like that, to where, and they have a 3-hour show. So we should be seeing more talent, you know, being dispersed throughout Raw, to where SmackDown, it's 2-hour shows and we got storylines between Trent and Chelsea, like Piper Bayley, Cocoa Butter Combat Club. Like, there's so many different stories happening with the women that we should be able to like do this on both shows and get everybody, like, you know, in, especially with a 3-hour show.
Yeah, and
but continue.
Shout out to NXT, because NXT is one of the better show. Like, out of all the promotions, I will slightly exclude NXT. So out of AEW and both of the other WWE shows, NXT is one of the better shows as far as like having multiple women storylines.
Women, fuck yeah.
I mean, honestly, on NXT, the women's roster on NXT is way it's way better. NXT's women's roster is easily one of the best women's rosters in every division, but their women's roster is better than their men's roster right now. And
they have the best division to tell stories for the women.
Yeah, and they're about, like, which is why they deserve a mid card. They're about to get a mid card. And also, fun fact: Battleground, which happens tomorrow, NXT Battleground on Sunday, I think there's only 1 or 2 men's matches. Every other match is a women's match. It's almost the Evolution. It's damn near Evolution. Like almost every match is a women's match, except for we're getting Trick versus Ethan, and then I think we're getting one other. We're getting the men's triple threat for the North American. And other than that, I want to say every other match is a women's match. So it's like NXT's women's division is fucking killing it. And
this is the one with Roxanne and Jordan Grace. I'm tuned in.
Yeah,
the fuck, I'm tuned in. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah. So,
but you are right. The ladder match for the women's North American Championship. Lola versus Shayna. Roxanne versus Jordan. So yeah, we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So it's 3 and 3.
3 and 3. Okay.
Yeah,
which is still a good even split. I mean that's again most in any other promotion. Like even during the fight,
all of them gonna be bangers.
Yeah,
you can't tell me out of the 3 of these women matches, you can't say this one's gonna be better than this one. Like Roxanne versus Jordan, you tuned in because that's a crossover. Like this is great.
And I think they wrestled before because Roxanne used to be in TNA before she came to WWE. So I want to say they definitely
Shayna versus Lola.
That should be fire.
Another underground match. That's gonna be fucking dope. Mm-hmm. And it's a ladder match full of women. Fuck yeah, I'm
for a new title, for a new champion.
For a new title. First ever. What is?
Oh no!
Hell yeah!
Is it the? Yeah. I think Thea Hill, or no, that might have been NXT because I could have sworn Thea Hill was fighting somebody by herself. But either way, women are up. I just want to give a shout out to that. But all right, so we get a where we at?
Gargano Ciampa or Gargano Waller.
Okay, wait. Before that, we get a quick backstage with Apollo. Angel Garza attacks him, which that sets up for a different match later in the show. Aldis is upset because Apollo's taken out. LA Knight comes out of nowhere. LA Knight's like, where the fuck is Logan Paul at? Aldis is like, he's not here. Carmelo Hayes comes out of nowhere. He keeps talking shit. LA Knight's like, okay, well, since you're out of a match, you're upset that you're out of a match, put me and this asshole in a match. Carmelo's kind of upset at first, but he's like, I'm still him. I'm going to get it. So we get that match later. Then, the next match, Gargano versus Waller, which they have a history because Waller sent Gargano out of the NXT territory, kayfabe-wise. I didn't write too many spots down. I will say that early in the match, Gargano was chopping the shit out of him. He was giving Waller some Gunther-type chops. It was enough to where I had to write it down. I was like, those chops were fire. They were loud as fuck.
Nah, there's that modified Canadian Destroyer this motherfucker did.
Yes. Like before that, there was a moment that went to a commercial break where Gargano hit a sliced bread outside the ring, and it was a really rough landing. I'm not going to call it a botch. It still looked pretty good, but it mostly looked like they landed on Gargano's head, but he was he was clearly able to finish the match. But yes, the other big spot, or the biggest spot, was that modified. It was like a poison destroyer, like damn near.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Gargano's good. But we know that.
Yeah, no, we know that. And Waller is way better. And Grayson gets the win because he pulled Theory into an attack. Gargano went for a suicide dive. He pulled Theory into it, set up a distraction for the most part. Waller wins. Theory seems a little upset for it. We're going to get that face turn. This team's going to split up soon. We're going to get new champions soon. We're already over time limit, but next week I want to talk to you about who you think the next champions will be if it's not going to be DIY.
That's a good question. And that's funny because I don't have an answer right now, but I will definitely have an answer for you next week. That's a great question.
I don't have an answer either based on the booking, but as far as tonight's or last night's episode goes, it might be DIY, but who knows? There's a lot of good tag teams.
Yeah, we haven't seen New Catch in a minute either. Is New Catch on Raw or on SmackDown?
They're on Raw because I remember them getting beat up by AOP after the draft. I think they're on Raw. Okay. I just don't think they were on this last episode or so.
All right.
Yeah, AJ finally shows up. Fucking Cody Rhodes was still waiting in the parking lot. Aldis brings security because he doesn't want them fighting in the parking lot. So then Cody Rhodes is upset because the security won't let him go to the thing, won't let him fight AJ. He goes to the fucking ring. He talks some shit. AJ comes out, and he comes out with Carl and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. So it seems like they're back as a trio.
OC, baby.
OC,
Too sweet.
the original club. And they have a back and forth, which sets up for a Clash in the Castle match. AJ, he does another homage, because last week he did a homage to Mark Henry. This week he does a homage to Batista. He's like, "Give me what I want." Like, you think I'm gonna fight you? No. You think I'm gonna give you what you want? Nah. Give me what I want. Cody Rhodes is like, "All right, I'm gonna make you say what you should have said last week, and that's I quit." So we're gonna get an I quit match at Clash at the Castle. So thus far, the only stipulation match for that show, and that's good. It should be a good match.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Stipulation matches. Funny, ironically enough, we get a stipulation match on the week. We have the stipulation question. But yeah, an I quit match. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
I'm also down for the memes about the community around this. Also, has been very fucking funny.
The community.
Community.
Yeah. After that, we get a moment where Bianca and Jade leave Aldis's room. We get an interview, and it's because they asked for the triple threat, which we already talked about. So yeah, we get a women's triple threat for Clash of the Castle. Then after that, that's when we get the LA Knight and Mello match. It was a good match. It wasn't too short, wasn't too long. They had some good spots, but eventually LA Knight wins. They're playing on the character, and I'm only saying this because the way internet reacts to shit. Like, Ilya lost one match, Lyra lost one or two, I think one, but Carmelo so far lost 3 or 2, and I just want people to know we can't book new talent all the same. Not everyone can be a Bron Breaker, it's okay.
He's on a harder roster.
Yeah, and on a shorter show, and he's doing his shit. Like, every single week, he's been on TV. He's cut really good promos. He made one slight mistake last week, but he fucking recovered immediately and perfectly.
And he ain't fought nobody in his range. He's been shooting high. It's been Cody. It's been Randy. It's LA Knight. Like, he's trying to hit at the hitters, which is like what you want as like a rookie talent. But he's not supposed to beat those guys. Those guys is vets right now. That makes sense.
Yeah, and the way his character is that he's a rookie who is a really good rookie. He was drafted higher than a lot of people, but he's letting that cockiness get to him from time to time, and it's costing him matches. But he's not, like, a lot of the matches, he's not losing like super clean. Like, this match was like, he didn't get the BFT. He lost again to, like, it was a roll up over a roll up, similar to the Lewick Sheamus match almost. So yeah, the only match he lost super clean to was Cody and Randy. So yeah, he's taken 3 losses, but 2 of them were from finishers, if that matters to any of you guys. After that, we get a quick backstage Tiffy time, talks to Nia, which in real life, they are really good friends. They carpool together and all this other shit. They make TikToks together. Tiffy suggests, like, hey, you're the queen of the ring. I could be the princess of the ring. We could work together. Think about it. Nia's like, she doesn't really say anything, but she gives the face, like, I'll think about it. After that, Mia Yim comes out of nowhere. Keep AJ's name out your mouth. Throws a drink on her. And then they get into a little brawl. And because of the drink, Nia slips like 3 times. Thank God she didn't, like, sprain nothing. Because
that was kind of crazy.
She had that Mario Kart banana. She's
absolutely.
She slipped like 3 times.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're gonna get a promo or program from them, which is cool. Gives something Nia to do.
Hey, a Nia and fucking Tiff tag, I'm cool. I think that's dope. I think that's like heel. That's heel shit, right? That's prime heel shit. You got a powerhouse with an aerial assassin. Like, that's kind of what you want in your tag teams. Like, that would be kind of dope to see. It'd be new. It'd be fresh.
Yeah, I think it would be a better version than when Nia was friends with Alexa. I mean, I like Alexa. Yeah. She's great on the mic, and she's really good in the ring. But to me, Tiffany, again, is that next generational. I think that'd be a good tag, too. And the fact that they're even slightly setting it up is dope.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah. It doesn't have to happen, and they don't.
No, it's just fun.
It gives them something to do, because at some point, I'm assuming Bayley's going to win. even if Nia wins at SummerSlam, Nia or Tiffany still needs shit to do because she can't,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe Tiff helps Nia get the chip. Maybe that's a storyline.
Ooh, yeah. She helps her win. Try to build the trust. Yeah, I'm here for it. I think that worked. So we get a quick video from Logan Paul. He cuts a really good promo on LA Knight. I'm not going to say anything else. You guys can just watch it. It was a quick.
No,
it was pre-taped.
The nigga was like, he's like, he want to send. He said there's levels to this, and he needs LA Knight to go back to the mid card where he belongs. I'm like, this nigga's the mid card champion.
Yeah. No, that part was a miscue. But I would, if I'm playing devil's advocate, the only reason why you could argue maybe that it wasn't a full miscue was because everything Logan said before that, where he's like, "Look, I'm top tier. Everyone I faced has been championship caliber. You're a nigga. You're someone who's never won a title, so you're not on my level."
Right.
But he shouldn't have said go back to the mid card. He should have just said go back to your lane.
You're
or
the king of the mid cards right now.
Yeah, like you are the leader. Yeah, that was yeah. He shouldn't have said that, but whatever. So yeah, after that we get a quick. Wait, no. Oh,
except main event.
No, because we skipped the Bailey promo. So yeah, so before that. Logan Paul, Bailey came out. She had a good promo. Then Chelsea and Piper come out. Chelsea was really good on the mic, but Piper, for the first time in a long time, especially since she's been on the main roster, she cut a fucking. I mean, I was super in awe of Bailey's promo. Bailey's promo was fire, and like based off her promo, this was like that's why she's one of the horsewomen. Like besides her being an in-ring general, all this other shit, that promo was really good. And then Chelsea came out really good, really antagonizing, really irritating. And then Piper spoke. We got some bullshit what chance. She shut them down with like inbred says what, which did shut them down. And they're in Kentucky, so I'm sure there's a lot of inbred, so that's why they stopped talking. And then she hit Bailey with the clap back, and it was a really good promo. I'm super excited for it.
Okay, first, the thought of somebody actually being offended when she said inbred says what, and somebody's like mad as fuck, just huffing and puffing. Like, how she know? How she know you my sister cousin?
I married my cousin legally.
Let's go.
Me and my cousin been friends since 3. I love my cousin.
Billy John, let's leave. Let's go let you know we're the best wrestle. The dope thing about this promo is that we got a backstory about Piper. She was talking about her history, like, you saw me at Evolution or the Mae Young Classic, but I was wrestling in Japan before that, in UK and Ireland. I was like getting her shit off, right? The only thing I wanted a little bit more of was for her to like be not necessarily like mean with it, but more aggressive with it. Because it was also like she was speaking it from like a babyface angle. I just need her to be like, nah, I'm from here. I've been doing this shit. Like I'm rah, 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 rah. Just more aggression in it. But other than that, like, and that's just me nitpicking, it was a good promo. Like, she did a phenomenal fucking job. This is the most that we ever got out of Piper. We all know that she's a great fucking talent. Mm-hmm. We've probably talked about her before on this podcast about, hey, no, she actually showed out. I think I said this when she had wrestled somebody on Raw. I think it was Jade on Raw.
Probably. Piper's good.
She's good. So, like, I'm glad we're finally getting, the ball in Piper's hands. She's going to have a main event, not a main event match, but she'll have a scheduled match at Clash of the Castle, and I think that that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, and it's good.
So, yeah, I'm down.
And it's a good test for Bailey before she fights Nia, because, Piper is
foreshadowing.
Piper is a fucking tank, and she is a heavyweight, and she's not easy to beat. Bailey might have to hit a avalanche Rose Plant or something, or avalanche Bailey to Bailey or something. Because Piper's not easy to beat.
I like that.
Yeah. So after that, then we get a quick thing when Chelsea and Piper are talking to Aldis, or no, I think Naomi's talking to Aldis first, and then Piper and Chelsea show up. Either way, it sets up a program for Naomi and Chelsea. So again, like other storylines not involving a belt with the women, and it's also more than likely going to set up a tag match between Naomi Bailey versus Chelsea. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't happen next Friday, or at least after Clash. So we'll probably see that. And then now we get the main event, which, if I may quote, "Holla holla, playa! We 6-man tag match. We got a 6-man tag. We're getting the Bloodline." Bloodline 2.0 versus KO Profits. Yeah. Which was a good match.
Yeah, I don't have any spots for this or nothing like that. Most of it comes at the end where all like the chaos ensues.
Yeah, it was mostly
but I'm still not sold on Bloodline 2.0. I did like the advancement that they had this episode, but still need a little bit more. Nothing's like kind of connecting. I think it's really hard also because like Bloodline was such a lovable like group, not lovable, but like you just it's Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, Roman. Like it's kind of hard to compete with that. It's kind of like when you do, I don't know. I guess you could do DX without the rest of the members, but it's just like it's just weird. It's not the same group, so it's a different level of like attraction. Or
it's similar to how we're gonna feel with the next Avengers movie, knowing that we ain't got Tony Stark and Captain. Yeah,
familiarity. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are the Avengers in name, but y'all, where Jarvis at? Y'all got no Tony over here. Like, ew.
Yeah,
nigga, you was the Falcon. What you mean you Captain America now? Like, just this is different shit. But they are trying to like work through that. It's hard. Like I said, it was a 4-year investment. So like,
and this is
I'm gonna give them some time.
And this is a work in progress. It's only been since
Mania.
Yes,
so like,
since Mania. So
April,
2 months, 2 months and some change.
Yeah. 8 shows.
And then like and I'm on record. Solo has been better each week since Mania. Every time he's been on, there was that first week where we talked about, it was like, oh, he kind of sounded like the nigga from Malcolm in the Middle, where he was like breathing weird. He had that weird pacing. But ever since then, he's been getting better and better. Like he's been like,
you're right.
And this week, it seemed like, he was like, they tweaked their entrance a little bit also, and it seems like he's finally getting. All of them are slowly getting into their groove. Tonga Loa still hasn't talked. Tama has only talked like 3 times. To me, I mean, physically he's intimidating, and the shit that he does is intimidating, but his voice to me isn't intimidating. Not that it needs to be, but then that means at least he needs to start saying some crazy shit to match that crazy persona. At least for me. But I think it's one of those moments where we just got to keep letting it play out, because it's still fresh. They're not in a real full storyline right now, other than beefing with Kevin, and I'm assuming eventually Randy. And then eventually Jimmy's going to come. Like, all this eventually is going to set up for Civil War, Bloodline Civil War Part 2, but it's going to take time because we still don't have Roman, we still don't have Rock, we still don't have Fatu. So it's just
don't have Jim, like they don't have Jimmy. I think Jimmy comes back pretty soon too.
Hopefully.
So we still hope. Yeah, hopefully Jimmy comes back soon. Then we can like start flushing out the details of the story and whatnot. Because Jimmy's gonna be a very critical part in this story. I'm assuming Jimmy would be the catalyst to get Jay. I think that's how that kind of like works out. And we'll just go from there.
Yeah. But Bloodline wins. We see Solo hit a spear. More seeds planted.
Spear.
And at the end of the match, they beat the shit out of Montez. He hits the spear on Dawkins because Dawkins tries to save Montez, so they beat the shit out of Dawkins. And then after that, they triple powerbomb a la of Shield. They triple powerbomb KO through the table.
What they call it? The Cerberus? I think, is that what they call the three-headed powerbomb or whatever? Shield was great.
I mean, the 3-headed dog is Cerberus.
I thought that's what they called the powerbomb.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I just assumed they called it triple powerbomb. When I got back into wrestling, Seth was Solo, so I don't know.
Oh, you missed the whole shit.
Yeah,
that was the best part.
I missed all. I mean, I got back. My first match was the triple threat with Cena, Brock, and Seth, which is easily one of the best triple threats ever to exist, as far as I'm concerned. But you guys,
Shield was Shield is great.
Yeah, I missed a lot of
Um,
but that's their show.
but yeah, that's the show. It was like SmackDown was good. Overall, good shows from everybody this week. Coming up, we have our Clash of the Castle predictions, so definitely be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have that up, as well as we're gonna have Forbidden Door when that also comes around. Definitely, continue to support us as you have been with listening, liking, following the whole nine. We are on Twitter at the Monday Night Wave. We are on YouTube at the Monday Night Wave. Definitely tune in.
Do we have an
check
Insta
us out,
yet?
Spotify, Google Podcasts. We don't have an Insta.
All right, we will make an Insta, and it will be Monday Night Wave.
You can definitely do that. That would be, hey, yeah, y'all on Insta. Y'all know what the biz is. We'll be on all socials pretty soon, or a good majority of them. But until then, we will catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Thank you for listening. Peace out.
Too sweet.